offense is Jamar Chase. I think he's better than Justin Jefferson, just by the way.
Oh, wow. It's offensive rookie of the year. Is that what we said? I'm gonna go Najee.
Yeah, easy. Najee
over Jamar. Oh,
so Jamar has the best supporting cast on that team. He's not even the best player on that team. It's Joe Mixon. That's the person that's going to really help them weather the storm. So,
like, if you think about it, like, yeah, what Bama's saying, like, if you think about it, he's got what we just said was a top tier quarterback. He's got T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and then him. He's got an okay tight end, and he's got a really good. Listen, say what you want about Joe Mixon, but Joe Mixon had a really, really good year. He's a really good right. Najee Harris
receiving
had noodle arm Ben,
noodle arm,
and nothing. Like, he had nothing. So what he
Joe
did,
Mixon put up 1,500 all-purpose, 16 touchdowns. Najee Harris did similar, 1,500 all-purpose, 13 touchdowns with a trash O-line. And I'm not gonna say his support. It was a soap opera over there. He had the TikTok crew, Corvette. You know what I mean? What's my boy?
That he doesn't look at the duck. I stopped looking at it like that.
Yeah, I wish I was as cool as you guys.
Ooh, the disrespect. Just telling you.
Listen. There's some people. Listen, there's some people like me who could just go into the studio and drop bars. Other people, right, need to like write it out, like Eminem and others. You know, like this. Everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own style.
Freestyle fluid.
Yeah.
Freestyle fluid.
Yo, me, Biggie, and Big L. That's the big three right there.
Yes, sir.
All jokes aside, I can't at all. Actually, I stink. I'm horrible.
All right, everybody, it's good to be back for another episode of Oh No.
No.
I forgot to change the title on the Twitch. I apologize for the guys who's gonna tune in thinking we're talking about basketball. It's gonna be the NFL Gridiron one. Dang it.
Well, lucky for all you guys, I have a backup basketball doc, so we are gonna be Players' Choice. Players' Choice backcourt. Nah, just kidding. We are Players' Choice Gridiron. We're here for another episode. We actually have a guest on the panel tonight. My man Brian, how you feeling today?
I'm doing well. I've been watching your guys' show, interacting with you guys on TikTok and everything, so I'm excited to be a part of an episode.
Okay. For the most part, what you think? We got bad takes, good takes,
for the most part, good takes for sure.
Except Dub. You should admit it. He knows.
Brian, I was the one mainly talking on your replying on your the TikToks that we was going back and forth on. I love it though. I love your account though. I love everything that you be saying. Guys who's watching on the stream, watching on YouTube, definitely go check that out at Bolstered Up. Bolstered Up.
Yeah, Bolstered Up Sports.
Bolstered Up Sports. Definitely go check it out. He puts great content. I love it. How long have you been doing TikTok?
I'm not sure. Probably 6 months or so, but I took a good break during the football season, which isn't really a good time to take a break for TikTok side of things. Mm-hmm. But I had to focus on real football.
Okay.
What do you mean real football?
You play football?
No, I don't play. I'm a coach.
Oh, that's amazing.
High school coach.
The high school coach? Where?
Here in Raleigh. Well, I say here in Raleigh. You guys probably aren't in Raleigh, but Raleigh.
You're from Raleigh, North Carolina?
I'm not from Raleigh, but
okay.
You coach.
Yeah,
where Ben? Aren't you in North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina right now. Mm-hmm.
How far are you from Raleigh?
About an hour and a half.
They might need another assistant coach. You should. Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Ben is a student of the game. His words.
Oh man.
What's up, Bama? How you doing today?
Man, bro, can't complain. Happy,
Okay.
Glad the Cowboys lost. We got a lot of toothless fans, they delusional. They back to saying next year's their year. Unbelievable. But I will say this though, they're starting to wake up. When they threw that trash on that team, the delusional fans are starting to be less delusional. Because this makes year 26 of the Cowboys doing this.
Now, let's be clear. You shouldn't be throwing anything at players or coaches or referees at a live sporting event. We don't condone that here at Players' Choice.
But I do condone it for the Cowboys.
But
it's 26 years.
But yeah.
26 years of mediocrity.
26 years of running.
Yeah.
Man, what's up with you?
What's up, man? Man, I'm glad to be here back at it. Pushing P tonight.
Pushing P. I just found out what that meant yesterday on Players' Choice Basketball.
Pushing
P.
Pushing P.
Thank you guys. I would like to say that we had an amazing week. We went from like 80 subscribers on YouTube and we're at like 150, I believe. Jumped from 600 followers from TikTok and jumped all the way to 2,700. So definitely, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing. All you guys who's been there since day one, appreciate you guys. All you guys on Twitch, all you guys watching on YouTube, man. Thank you guys. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for liking with us. And let's ride this one out, man. We appreciate you guys for real.
Sir, shout out all the day ones. Also, I think I know why our followers shot up. You remember how we ended the episode last week? With this guy in the Tennessee shirt. Remember what he was saying about,
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, dog.
That's right.
Having a stanky grandma.
You don't have
man, listen here.
Yeah.
If you don't want your grandma to stink, you feel me? Drop that light, you know what I'm saying, on all platforms, or your mama ain't got no edges. Stanky grandma and a bald head mama. That's you going out bad, bro.
All right, we'll get to that at the end of the episode. But we appreciate everybody that's followed for sure. Want to encourage you guys to follow us on all platforms. PC Gridiron on Instagram, Players Choice Gridiron on TikTok. We will continue to drop fire content. Also follow my man Bolstered Up
Sports
on Bolstered Up Sports on TikTok. Hey, so Bolster's your last name?
Yeah, Bolster's my last name.
Amazing play on words. So,
check out his Twitter. I actually like your Twitter. I like his Twitter.
What's your Twitter handle?
I think it's BS Takes and underscores in there somewhere.
Right? Is good. I like it.
I think Fluent's your number one fan.
I am. I do. I like his stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
That's why I started watching a lot of your stuff on TikTok. Honestly, a lot of basketball first. Then I saw you doing some NFL stuff. Seen you talking a little bit about Aaron Rodgers, some common sense.
Yep.
Here we go.
I like your last Aaron Rodgers video.
So, but before we get into anything, who's your team, Brian?
Oh, the NFL is the Titans.
Ooh, so we got two Titans fans this week.
Aaron McNair, Eddie George.
Aaron McNair.
Eddie George is my first jersey. You got Derek Mason.
Don't forget about my boy Dyson.
2 yards in the cloud of dust.
Well, I'll give you. I'll do this for you, man. If you win, not that are we doing anything like where we have winning tonight or no? You have any fan vote stuff?
Well, if we get in a little debate about Patrick Mahomes, we'll see who wins that argument.
All right, we'll see how he does. If he does well, y'all have to remind me to get him to get a shout out from Eddie George. I'll get you a shout out from Eddie.
Gotcha.
Big time. And you guys keep tuning in. At the end of the episode, I have a special deal for anybody that wants to partake in a competition that I got going on this week.
Okay. All right.
Chance at $100. And so let's dive straight into it. We had a wild weekend, a wild card weekend. We're going to start with the very first game, and it was the Bengals and the Raiders. I just want to hear how you guys felt about it. Is it what you guys expected? And let's just talk about the game.
Joe Burrow's that guy. Sorry.
Sorry, what now?
Joe Burrow's that guy. He's tough. I mean, that was the easy.
I don't think. Were you saying that last week?
No. The way that you guys try to propel this guy above Matthew Stafford, that's where I was sitting here like, you guys got to relax for a little bit. But he's that guy, and he was going to win that game against the Raiders. We'll see what he does this week.
Do they win that game with Matthew Stafford?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, you see what my man did last night.
What? He played it super safe and relied on a really good running game? He sure did.
Sure did.
Oh,
sure
my
did.
God.
We'll get to that one though. We will get to that one. I will say this. I think we all picked the Bengals to win. I don't think anybody picked the Raiders.
Yeah.
However,
I had picked the Raiders.
Did you pick the Raiders?
Yeah.
Okay.
Believe in the car.
You could have let it slide. But I was gonna say, I think. Look, I hope this isn't like false hope, But I think what the Raiders did, considering all the controversy, the fact that they were still in the playoffs, right? The stuff with Gruden, the stuff with Ruggs, like just everything seemed to pile up. And I think what they're going to do here is clean house because Mike Mayock, right? We know that he got fired now. Mm-hmm. I think all of that kind of unfortunately rolls up to him. I think if they can bring in the right kind of GM, a head coach that's really offensive minded, they're going to be good next year. They actually could take a step. Derek Carr, look, he's not elite, but he's really good. I think that's a team that's one kind of executive. It's not even on the field. I think they're an executive away from being pretty good. They're in a tough division though, mind you, but I think I got hope for Vegas. I want Vegas to be good so that I can go there and watch games. Like that's where I want to go.
I mean, the pushback there is ownership. I always think that's the most underrated part of these franchises, and that's what makes it tough for the Raiders. But I do think they're talented, and supposedly Harbaugh is going to be the next coach for the Raiders, which will probably bring some controversy. I actually think it's a pretty good move. He's been nothing but successful anywhere he's been. But to me, this game was all about Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and I thought Joe Burrow was insane. I know the stats were somewhat mild in terms of a good game. Mm-hmm. PBR only like 62 or something like that. But I thought he played better than that. Just a couple things, having to settle for field goals. But his timing with Jamar Chase, to me, is like Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams light, which I know they played together in LSU. But to me, their connection, their timing has been so impressive. And, I mean, I'll just go ahead and say I do think Joe Burrow is better than Matthew Stafford. And
you can say it. That's obvious.
Oh my God.
Football coaches, they always have that thing, which who knows what it means. But Joe Burrow has it, whatever it is. He just seems
I agree.
Have a different level to him.
I agree. Joe Burrow does have that if factor, but man, you're not just gonna pass up Matthew Stafford like that, honestly, bro. I'm sorry, like Matthew Stafford.
Come from the guy who already puts Mahomes top 5 all time. Hey, Bama, let me ask you. You still think? Hold on, Bama has a really good take here. Do you still think? Yeah. Do you still think? After I know it's one playoff game, you still think Joe Burrow is Carson Palmer?
Because he wouldn't. Okay. I'll say this.
He already has more playoff wins than Andy Dalton, so he's already leapfrogged that other Bengal.
Yeah, but see, that's all. It's funny that you say
yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's funny that you say Andy Dalton because that's who I think Derek Carr is. Do good enough in regular season, get you a decent enough record. Playoffs, too bad of a quarterback to win a playoff game ever in his career. Also, look at his brother's track record. The apple don't fall too far from the family tree. He is who he is. He's never going to be anything. Joe Burrow went up against an average quarterback. He's an above average quarterback. He went up against an average quarterback. That's what happens. You're going to look a lot better than an average quarterback. Now, the real test is when he starts playing guys like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, depending on if Aaron Rodgers goes to Denver. People talk about the Vegas Raiders. I hate to say it. I know y'all, love Seattle and Russell Wilson. If Russell Wilson somehow manages to go down there to Vegas, now that team really has a chance because that's a quarterback that's going to be more than an average game manager. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just not a real fan of Derek Carr. Like it just makes me so mad watching that game because I'm just thinking like if it's some other quarterbacks, they make those plays that the Bengals now lose. Because if you look at, if you go to the NFC, you look at Tom Brady, look at the amount of pressure he puts on other quarterbacks to keep up the tempo. Even Patrick Mahomes, look at the amount of pressure they put on all the other quarterbacks to score along with them. When you got somebody like a Derek Carr, he might go 3 and out, 5 drives in a row, might throw a pick in there somewhere. You know what I mean? That's not too much pressure for a young quarterback like a Joe Burrow versus what Jalen Hurts went through. That's ridiculous pressure. Mac Jones went against ridiculous pressure going against Josh Allen because these guys have shown you what they do. They put up points. They put pressure on defenses. Like they put pressure on other offenses because now I come out here, I'm down 7. If I go 3 and out, I'm down 14 or I'm down 10 or I'm down 13. So it's a big difference when you're going against a QB that's going to constantly they know what to do when they get to their red zone. It's just like clockwork, you know what I mean? Versus going against somebody like a Derek Carr. Joe Burrow's doing good. I will say this. His development from year one to right now is real good. I would probably say above good, you know what I mean? But I still got to see more. This week, if he's able to compete, I might anoint him, for as a emerging quarterback, but not yet though. Not against Derek Carr.
So I would like to say, you was talking about Derek Carr and everything. I think it's kind of unfair to, put that type of label on Derek Carr because it's like, bro, he was never on a team that was really like, you was like, yo, they're going to make some noise in the playoffs. I mean, he's been on the Oakland Raiders his whole entire career. He's been as productive as any type of quarterback can be. But in terms of last night, listen, bro, the Raiders went through a lot of hell this year, bro. So them losing this game, it's like, screw it. Like, it is what it is. Like, you guys wasn't even supposed to be here in the first place. And the fact that they made it there just shows how much talented and how much good that team really is. Now, back to Joe Burrow and this whole cliff that you guys are about to jump off of. Y'all have got to chill out, bro. Please. I love Joe Burrow and everything that he is, but let's not get caught up in recency bias, honestly. He's been on a good tear these past few weeks. What?
Dub, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but check this out. I'm on my cognac. Joe Burrow's just had one of the best sophomore campaigns ever, okay? Check this out. Check this out. Look, check this. I've been holding this in for too long, and I can't hold it in no more. All right. Joe Burrow is the next best thing in the NFL, okay? I'm not going to proclaim him this. I'm not going to proclaim him that. All I'm going to say is he's the next best thing. I like Justin. I like what the Chargers got going on. But they don't got going on what Cincinnati got going on.
I agree though. It's just as of right now, let's hold off for a moment. Let's hold off. No. Like, because we got to remember the Bengals were inconsistent this year.
Hold on.
Right?
Time out. How can you say hold off on saying Joe Burrow is an emerging star at quarterback?
Get him fluent. And then he said what?
Last week you said Mahomes is the 5th best quarterback of all time. Shouldn't you slow up on that before saying he's an emerging? All we're saying is he's emerging.
And I said I agree with that. I said hold your horses on put him above Matthew Stafford. Please, just calm down with that. I think they're all probably around the same realm of each other, and I could go with you on that level. But to just automatically put him over Matthew Stafford off of one season, like, let's calm down, because he didn't even put up better numbers than him, Fluent, and you're really big on numbers.
I'm not. You know what? I'm refusing this episode to talk about.
They got the same amount of playoff.
Not happening. Though. Not happening. They have the same amount of playoff wins. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, and one's been played for like 12, 13 years. One's in year 2.
But with the Bengals, like the first drive, it was Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, that connection. They were just killing. It was just killing them and stuff. I just wish the Raiders was not in there. They weren't supposed to be in there. The Chargers would have been in here, and the debate would have been settled with Joe Burrow and Herbert. And I bet you Herbert will outdo Burrow. I bet you. I bet money.
I would have liked to see that game.
That would have been a great game. But I'm gonna put it this way. Herbert is somewhere with his toes on the beach in San Diego. All right. He's chasing seashells right now.
Seashells by the seashore.
Joe Burrow is about to go into Kansas City.
No.
He's about to go into Kansas City.
No.
I'm not going to proclaim he's going to win.
He's not going into Kansas City.
But
he's going into Tennessee.
Oh, well, okay. Well, he's going to Tennessee.
Even easier.
And he's going to put on a show. He's going to.
I don't know.
I'm telling you,
Titans defense they stepped up this year, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure about
400 yards. 400 yards for Burrow in Tennessee and the upset win.
Let me ask you something.
What do you think, Brian?
Man, I hope not. Sounds like the Titans defense from last year. I'm hoping that the Titans defense we saw to close out this year is the one that we'll see in the playoffs. Harold Landry, Bud Dupree. But it has me nervous. Just with Jamar Chase. I don't think we have anybody for Jamar Chase. Like, we have Kevin Byard. He's an awesome safety, but he's not going to be able to lock down a T. Higgins, lock down a Jamar Chase. And they start getting Jamar Chase involved in the backfield, then you can't stop it. That's what, the 49ers are doing with Debo and Ayuk. That's what the Rams are doing. They're starting to get OBJ back there and Kupp. Once you do that, you even take away an elite corner's ability, let's say like a Jalen Ramsey, to be able to just lock somebody down. And that's, I mean, without getting into the Kupp debate, that's what a lot of elite receivers are doing with these offensive coaches. They're moving them around. There's no reason to keep an elite receiver just as the X all the time.
Right, because production matters. It doesn't matter where you start; it's where you finish.
But they have the ability. They have the ability to put them over. They have the ability to put those type of receivers anywhere, which is the difference. You see, I want to ask you something, Fluent. You said last episode, right? OJ said it, but you agree with it. You said that you put Joe Burrow on the Rams, Odell Beckham becomes this freaking monster out of nowhere, right? So then what happens to Cooper Kupp? Because Matthew Stafford made Cooper Kupp look like the best wide receiver in the NFL. So
no, I think you're confusing it. Cooper Kupp and before that Megatron made Stafford look like a good QB.
Oh my God, that is not what is happening, bro. Oh my. Well, Megatron is a whole different story. Cooper Kupp is not making Matthew Stafford look better. Matthew Stafford
Sean McVay is
and Sean McVay, Sean
McVay. He's basically in a quarterback-friendly offense. That's why Sean McVay got rid of old boy that's up in Detroit right now, because
that's right.
When you're in a brain-dead quarterback offense and your quarterback is not making the routine plays, so I'll tell people this. One thing about them type of quarterback friendly offenses, they have plays to where you can just look at a player and he's going to be wide open. That's how they like really cater to it. Like, hey, if you look right here, this guy is going to be wide open. When you start missing those type of plays to where, hey, because I can understand where a coach is coming from. These things are very hard to do, to mastermind plays to where you can get a guy just wide open running down the field. When you got guys that miss those plays, it frustrates you. It infuriates you. So it's like, hey, I got to get you out of here. What's the next best dude we got up out of there? They got a decent arm that can stretch the field. Matt Stafford. Of course. So now he comes over there. He's the most competent.
It's not a decent arm.
When you quarterback,
he's not elite.
I'm just letting you know, when you're like somebody like Sean McVay, somebody young, innovative, feels like he's a mastermind. In the NFL, those coaches got egos. When you somebody like Sean McVay, I'm pretty sure he's feeling like, dude, all I need is somebody competent.
But Matthew Stafford, that's the point that you guys are missing. Matthew Stafford.
How do we get to Matthew Stafford? We're talking about the Bengals. I'm sure LeBron has another game to talk about. Let's not talk about that.
What we're going to actually do, since we're already talking about Stafford, we're just going to transition into the Cardinals and the Rams game. So I'm just going to read off a couple stats. Matthew Stafford, he went 13 for 17, had 202 yards and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, Cooper Kupp did what Cooper Kupp does, 5 receptions, 61 yards, had a touchdown. On the other end, Kyler Murray didn't really play so hot, threw 2 interceptions. I want to hear you guys' takes on this game. And, well, Matthew Stafford.
I'll say this, though. The Rams defense was on Murray for real that game. Like, the Rams defense did very good. Von Miller and the boys. And for the offense, the running game was just great, bro. It was just great. Cam Akers did his thing. When he returned back from his Achilles and stuff, it was really something. And Odell had a great game too, for real.
Odell had even though Kupp was the leading receiver. Someone sent me this today, and I went back and looked just to confirm it, and it made me question what I'm seeing. So I'm just going to read off quickly, okay? So starting back in 2013, Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach. This is obviously at Texas Tech.
Oh.
Yeah, Dub, I know you saw this.
Yep.
Okay, check this out. 2013, he loses 5 of his last 6. 2014, loses 4 of his last 6. 2015, loses 4 of his last 6. 2016, loses 6 of his last 8. 2017, loses 6 of his last 8. 2018, loses 5 of his last 5. Hey, let's make him a head coach in the NFL. Sure, why not? So in 2019, loses 7 of his last 9. 2020, loses 5 of his last 7. And 2021, loses 5 of his last 6. And I said, okay, interesting numbers. Let's go back and look. Here's what I think about Cliff Kingsbury. And this is why I'm not putting all the blame on Kyler Murray, although he does deserve some. I think Cliff Kingsbury is a coach that has a game plan and never adds or changes it. And by the end of the season, teams are figuring it out. And because he doesn't make any adjustments, they stop him and they lose. And it's not like it was 1 year or 2 years. This is something that's been going on for 7-8 years now in college and the pros. I just think Cliff Kingsbury might be the wrong head coach. And I'm not quick. Listen, I don't like just getting rid of head coaches, but I think that might be the bigger problem than anything else in Arizona.
That's facts. Bolstered up. You got something to say to that?
Or just on the game in general?
Yeah, that's definitely valid. It's tough to say. There's a lot of offensive coaches in the NFL that have a similar trajectory, not always in wins and losses, but Sean McVay, let's say, is one that is been criticized for the first half of the season, his offense being top 5. And then all of a sudden the second half of the season, it drifting off all the way to like 20th. And part of that, I think, is getting away from the physical run game. That's where we've seen it for Sean McVay. That's the biggest thing I would say for Cliff Kingsbury. His offense is just too soft. In terms of the game, Kyler Murray was obviously put in a bad situation. Without DeAndre Hopkins, their weapons aren't great. You take away the intermediate game, no run game. That defensive front is going to get after you. It's going to make life hard, and he made life harder on himself. They did a fantastic job keeping him in the pocket. But the one take I have out of this mainly that's going to lead to the future is I got some major Jimmy G vibes from this game. And what I mean by that is I really thought Sean McVay treated Matthew Stafford like Jimmy G. Now, this was a Jimmy G like plus performance out of Matthew Stafford.
Oh, man.
Took that Jimmy G role and took it to another level, which of course he's going to do. But the way I saw this was like Sean McVay did not want to put this game in Matthew Stafford's hands. They threw it some early. It was all very design stuff, which there's nothing against that. But typically Sean McVay and offensive coaches in general are aggressive, and they want to go ahead and put that nail in the coffin. And he didn't do that. Now, I know the other side of the coin is he wanted to make sure that they established the run game for the postseason run and get Cam Akers involved. But 17 attempts and just the game plan from at least my perspective was a little bit of a red flag, because when we think of the other elite quarterbacks, that doesn't happen, especially in the modern NFL.
Is he smart for doing that? Obviously they won, but do you credit him for doing that or discredit him?
I credit him. I think it was a great game plan. I just think this could be something down the line, and particularly how Matthew Stafford ended the season. I think that's what it stems from. He ended the season with an incredible turnover run. And I think that was his mindset, was don't let him lose it for us. The pressure is going to be on Stafford for next week, because at least in theory, that Bucs defense is going to be able to shift the pressure on Stafford, pushing that to 30-plus attempts.
So don't let Matthew Stafford bring the infectious Detroit Lions.
Remember a few weeks ago when I said Stafford has like that really high ceiling and then that really low floor, and it's that inconsistency that drives people crazy? It's because he throws a really good deep ball. The problem is sometimes he gets in love with that and he throws a really bad deep ball, and that's where he gets those pick sixes and those picks from. And if you think about it, if I would have told you prior to the game that the Rams were going to run the ball 38 times and only throw it 18, I don't think you would have believed me.
So you guys are basing this all off of him not trusting Matthew Stafford, not the fact that Cam Akers and Sonny Michel just started off the game hot, and him just rolling with what was hot, and him not trying to mess with that game plan. Like, come on, that's so unfair to do. Both of them boys was running crazy as soon as the game started. You got to stick to the game plan. If it's broke, don't fix it, and that's exactly what they did. You can't just try to discredit Matthew Stafford, just because they followed a good game plan? Because when they needed to lean on him for those moments, he showed up. I see him scrambling around the pocket, making some plays for that team, man. You can't sit here and try to discredit Matthew Stafford like that. I'm sorry.
So I'll say this. I give Dub that with what he's saying. So one thing with the playoffs, I understand, where the game is going. Oh, we just want to throw it all over the field like flag football. But let's be honest, we out here trying to win a championship. One thing, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So when it comes time to the playoffs, you run the ball to set up for the pass. All the great quarterbacks do it. Even Brady, he leans on the run game a time or two from here. Even if you look back to when what Dub call him Baby Goat, or I call him Becky with the good hair in the Super Bowl. They got great production from the running back position. You know what I mean? So every quarterback needs a running back, especially in the playoffs, because it slows the game down. It gives you the time of possession, because that's what's king in the NFL. Time of possession. Everybody will tell you, they circle that right there. How do you get that time of possession on your side? Well, when you run the ball, the clock still keeps going, different type of things like that, versus passing the ball, because if they don't catch it, the clock stops. So now that's more opportunities.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it wasn't the wrong game plan. It was the right game plan.
It was right. It was right. But what I would say this, though, Cliff Kingsbury didn't put no pressure on him, because one thing about this, that's why I was trying to tell y'all in the beginning, even though they picked up Von Miller, that was only going to affect quarterbacks like Kyler Murray, those younger guys, you know what I mean? Then that's not necessarily going to affect quarterbacks like Brady and Rodgers, because it's going to speak to what I'm going to say. They're going to lean on the run game, and what they should have did, what Cliff Kingsbury should have did, start running type of short routes, pick routes to stop this stuff, chip routes, start leaning on that run game. It wasn't the fact that they couldn't run the ball. They really didn't lean on it like that.
They only ran 18 times.
Exactly. So now they got it to a point to where they got behind the 8 ball, and now it's almost like you got to pass the ball every time now, because you out here, like what you were saying, Cliff Kingsbury is just stuck in his own way. And I believe it's part of that is just from his background. He was the Patriots quarterback, drafted by Bill Belichick, being over there with the Patriot way. They have a certain way of doing things. So, of course, what a lot of guys do, so I watch a certain podcast, I'm Athlete podcast, and they get different guys that come on talking about the Patriots. And one thing they say about when some of those coaches leave the Patriots, they try to take 50-50 Patriot way, then mix in their way. So the Patriot way is like have a setup of how we do things, and then they want to add in their flavor to it, but they have a stubbornness to where it's just their way or no way, you know, and that's not really good. You got to be able to adapt.
Bill Belichick can get away with it now.
Right.
Now. Yep. He couldn't always, but you can't do that as a new first-time head coach, especially when you take that recipe and you throw in your own kind of stuff into it and mix it up. The other thing, though, I will say about this, when you say about the run, and to the Rams' credit, when you're up 21-0 as the Cardinals, you got to throw the ball. You got to throw the ball. And the Rams got to run the ball. So part of that, score did dictate some of the gameplay.
Ben, you got anything to say about this game?
Oh, my bad.
Only thing I gotta say is, though, like, the Rams just played great out there, and Cardinals didn't have enough than weapons like D-Hop and them. They really needed D-Hop this game. So yeah.
Wait, so I haven't heard anybody say anything about Kyler Murray. Are we just letting him slide?
I don't think it's. I was gonna say that. I don't think it's him to blame. At the end of the day, he's a young guy. He's an up and coming guy. I blame a lot of the coaching, like Fluent said, because I think that I don't care what record they freaking have. I think that coach is still terrible. And honestly, bro, when you're going up against Aaron Donald and then Von Miller, and you don't have guys on the wide receiver core to get separation fast enough, where you can't just throw it to somebody. It's like, bro, that's what's gonna happen, and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
and I don't want to make excuses for Kyler Murray. I don't, but now I'm gonna make one. Mm-hmm. But when you're down 21-0, you're missing your best wide receiver. Your coach isn't, at least in my eyes, putting you in position to be successful. It's hard to be successful. You got there's a lot of knocks. And did I say that is his first playoff game too? Like, it's his first play against a really, really, really good defense, like pass rush. Hey, that's a lot of things going against you. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. And OBJ was never the problem. Just want to put that out.
Oh, yeah. OBJ was never. Remember I told you OBJ is Jimmy Butler. What? Everyone wanted to make Jimmy Butler to be the problem in Chicago, in Minnesota, in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Then he goes to Miami. Oh, Jimmy Butler's a great guy. That's OBJ. He was the problem in New York. He was the problem in Cleveland. Goes to LA. Oh, he's not a problem anymore. Interesting.
That's our one basketball reference for everybody that came and tuned in based on the basketball title. We got you guys.
I figured I got to tie some basketball in for those that got the wrong idea.
Most definitely. So we're gonna move forward to our next game. We had oh my God, we had a SmackDown. And I happened to be in New York for this game at a bar. It was the Patriots fans over here and it was the Bills fans over here. And one side was just mute and the other side was going crazy. It was the Buffalo Bills killing the Patriots 47-17. You guys talk to me.
The greatest football team in New York, without question. Why? Because it's the only team in New York. The Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills. This is what we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. Remember when we all were saying, "Oh, they're going to win the AFC East. They're going to challenge the Chiefs." This is the team we thought we were going to see that we didn't see all season. I'm really disappointed in the Patriots. Like, I'm really disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, you should be. You
I'm
had the Patriots going to the.
I'm really
AFC
disappointed in the
Championship.
Patriots. They made me look bad.
Not more than Julian Edelman. He bet 100,000 they was gonna make it.
Okay, I didn't do that. Yeah, I'm not
I
that.
feel bad right now. So I'll say
he's got it. He's got that money.
Have y'all ever seen Any Given Sunday? Anybody on here?
So everybody better.
You remember that scene when Willie Beeman first got in the game and he saw a dude, and he looked open, and then they showed like a blur, and then it showed the DB coming out of nowhere picking the ball off. I try to explain this. When you're a rookie, a playoff NFL defense, you're gonna see dudes that look open and they're not open. In the NFL, that's why a lot of DBs look kind of bad at Alabama, because Nick Saban implements this very early. Combo coverages, where it looks like, hey, we're gonna run one thing, but then it turns into this when the hike is called. So that's when you play against elite quarterbacks or even rookies. That's what they use to try to scramble them, get them mixed up. So now you put that on a rookie like Mac Jones, and you get the result of what you get. And like I said, you got to do like Josh Allen. He's going to score the ball. They're going to drive the ball down the field. So when you look up on the scoreboard, it's going to be, I'm down 14, I'm down 17. Now it's too much pressure on me. Now I feel like I got to go out there and play outside of my element. Let me chunk the ball down the field. Guess what happens? I get another pick. And it just keeps on happening. The snowball just keeps getting bigger and bigger, flowing down the hill. So next year, Fluent, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to like the Patriots, because now they give Mac Jones a whole nother summer up under Bill Belichick to figure these things out, to show him more coverages on film. Everybody, if you talk to Mac Jones, they say he's a big student of the game. He's like Brady 2.0. So we'll get a whole offseason to see this. But right now, he's just not ready. All the rookie quarterbacks, if you look at them, all the first-year playoff quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts didn't do too well. Kyler Murray, I mean, Joe Burrow is the only one that did well because he went against a car. But I don't know, man. I just think if he went against those guys,
that boy.
We'll see this week. We'll see this week when he goes up against a real defense and a quarterback. I would say Tannehill.
Listen, you know how I feel about Burrow. You know how I feel about Burrow. But I will say, to Bama's point, he did have the best matchup of any first-time quarterback, first starting quarterback for their first playoff game. He did have the best matchup.
Fortune favors the bold.
Yes.
Yo, Brian, Brian, how you feel about this? Thoughts on this game?
It was embarrassing for the Patriots. That's a franchise with a lot of pride, Bill Belichick, and they got flat out embarrassed. The Bills scored a touchdown, or they gave them mercy. That was it. They were the only two options. It was touchdown or take a knee. And that's two straight games that Josh Allen and the Bills, offensively at least, have dominated the Patriots. He has like 600 plus yards and 8 touchdowns in the last 2 games. And he had more touchdowns than incompletions. So to me, it brings up an interesting point. One, Josh Allen, I think there's a case to be made that as all the quarterbacks are now, his best game might be better than anybody else's, just because of the level of athlete that he is with the size that he has. But also for the Patriots, like, I think this was the first real dose of reality that they got. I think they were able to just kind of let last year slide off of them, be in denial. And I think that they've been trying to convince themselves that, hey, we can just win with a game manager. And that's not going to happen, especially, again, with the modern NFL, the way that it's going. You look at the playoff landscape, it's elite quarterbacks and then 2 above average quarterbacks that, in my mind, have elite coaches and elite running games, not to mention the defenses. So I think this puts a lot of pressure on the Patriots. And looking forward, it looks like the Bills are definitely the top dog. Like, this isn't just a 1 or 2 year thing.
For me, I think I don't think Matt Jones played a bad game. Be honest with you, not this game. I don't think he played a bad game. It was just like the Patriots' defense was just terrible. It was just terrible against the Bills. Like, the Bills was just killing them left and right. and they were scoring like there was like no turnovers or anything like that. Bill just outperformed them. But the Patriots in the offseason, they need a receiver badly. They need a receiver one. Should get like Mike Godwin or Devontae, if they can get Devontae or anything like that. A-Rob. So yeah.
That boy Carlos, love you too, bro. What I would like to say is for the Pats and Bills game is what I've been saying all year. The better team was the Bills all year around. This is the Patriots went on the little run, but you gotta give hats off to them because they wasn't supposed to be put in this position. Give Mac Jones time to learn the game and become a student of the game with Bill Belly. That team's gonna be feared with for years to come. But as of right now, bro, the game plan is to make Mac Jones beat you, and he's not going to win the games for you right now. Later on, that could be a different story, but right now, that was the scenario, honestly.
Okay. Well, moving forward, does anybody want to talk about the Bucks and the Eagles, or
No, nope.
should we just stop
Yeah.
talking about the
I
Bucks
just
for
want
the
to
rest
say
of,
this
or the
one
Eagles
thing.
for the rest of the summer?
I just want to say this one thing. We only need to we need to make a petition. Everybody out there, make a petition to where only one NFC East team gets into the playoffs at a year. I don't care if everybody in that conference goes 17-0. Only one team from that conference should be allowed to be in the playoffs because that whole conference in a whole stinks.
Why?
The Giants stinks.
Why are you being so nice? I think we should relegate them to like down a tier, and they got to work their way back up before they're allowed to.
Yeah, seriously, because that
put them back to the
conference
Premier
just
League or
stinks.
Championship League. I don't know which one's lower in
The
soccer.
whole conference, like Washington football team, trash. Giants, trash.
Y'all have
Eagles,
to come in my team.
trash.
Like, come on. Man. Y'all gotta
Cowboys,
come in
all they snaggletooth fans, trash.
Ron,
like that all everything is just trash.
Let's get to the next one, man, because you guys is killing that whole East. It's funny.
Vikings or Seahawks could have won that game.
Brian,
I'm sorry.
do you have any comments on this SmackDown?
Oh, well, one, I'd just like to say that I do think Jalen Hurts has definitely earned the starting job for another year. I know he left the game in a walking boot, and I know he has his issues. Don't get me wrong, but I think he won, albeit against a terrible, terrible schedule. He won games far more than what was expected. And yeah, his first debut wasn't good, but it also was against a good defense. And we've seen other top quarterbacks fail early their first time in the playoffs. Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson. I mean, Lamar Jackson, he was getting so much hate after going like 13-3, winning an MVP based on just one game in the playoffs. The Eagles team is not good. I think we just give them a little bit of time there. Jalen Hurts. I see the Alabama hat on. Come on, man. You got to have a little bit of love for Jalen.
Oh, you have no clue.
No,
This
you have
guy
no
is
idea.
a diehard
We call him
Bama fan,
Bama.
but
Die-hard Bama fan. Got sick of
when
that dude.
comes to Jalen Hurts, it just has a sour taste.
He did.
Man, we didn't throw a deep ball in 2 years when he was our quarterback. Man, Tua was sent from the heavens, gifted. Like I was just like, oh man, thank you.
Yo, Brian. So to kind of give you an update and bring you up to date. Remember when you jumped in the Zoom call and we were talking about the Navy offense?
Yeah.
Remember how Bama said if a certain team ran the Navy offense, they would have won this weekend?
Super Bowl favorites. If the Eagles would have ran the Navy offense with Jalen Hurts at quarterback, oh man, that would be the most potent offense we would ever see in the history of the NFL. Like I think the triple option could work. And then if you wanted to add a little razzle dazzle, you could run the shotgun spread triple option. How Auburn ran it back in the day with what was the quarterback they had? Like a play like cornerback or something. Anyway, I don't care. It's Auburn. But they ran like the shotgun triple spread, and we can like, make it look all pretty and stuff, and run like little plays where we run the option and then do like a little dump pass. So, bro, take the NFL. I'm trying to tell y'all, dude, like it's
give
crazy.
Jalen time, bro. Just give him time.
I'll say,
like,
just
time.
one thing. I would say give him time, but I will look at this though. I find it funny that he misses on certain passes that would have possibly put them in a situation to be in a lot better predicament than they was. And it's funny, Tom Brady gets the ball right back. Like, so the pass to Quez Watkins, when he had missed it, he ran a dig and he missed it behind him. And Quez Watkins, like, so in the playoffs, if you like that little bit in front of somebody, that's open. So you got to be able to hit that, but you got to hit it on the money so them boys can make their play and get up out of there. Same situation, Brady up, hits the pass right on the money. Same type of defense. Everybody can be like, oh, bro, he was going against a better defense. It was the same type of coverage. Brady went out there, delivered the pass how he's supposed to deliver it, led it in front of him, and guess what? DB makes a guy miss, runs in. Receiver makes a guy miss, runs in for a touchdown. It's just that simple. Like,
my question to
you know, we'll look back at it and be like, hey, man, he was going against a tough defense. I mean, opportunities was missed.
My question to you is, you'll sit here and say like, give Mac Jones time to learn, give Mac Jones time to get better. Why come it's not the same scenario for Jalen Hurts?
Because they didn't play against a team. They didn't play against a team that had 10 DB transactions. Like, that defense is like straight garbage right now. You're gonna see when them Bucs go up against teams that can attack it. If they play like the Rams, you're gonna see how they're gonna start to struggle against the Rams.
You think Mac Jones in that position
to answer your question, Dub, to answer your question, and again, I don't think anyone's saying Hurts is just gonna be horrible and he's never gonna be a starting quarterback. No one's saying that. But when you say what's the difference between Hurts and Mac Jones, it's what you see. You're gonna now they might go in different trajectory, but what you see, what they've done so far, you see the potential in one and maybe not so much in the other. So when Mac Jones, you see that progression of even from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, where he's going to get better and where he needs to get better. And I don't think you see it as much in Jalen Hurts.
People say Mac Jones is going to get better for the sole reason is that he's playing with Bill Belichick. That is the sole reason. That is the sole reason why. But
not sole reason, but that's part of it.
That is the sole reason why.
It's not the sole reason. It's part of it.
That is the sole reason why we're sitting here like, yeah, he could be 2.0 Tom Brady because what he made Tom Brady.
No, it's because what we see in his decision making, in his mechanics, in his leadership. So those are things that we see that we don't see in Jalen Hurts.
I will say that
Jalen's not a leader.
I feel like this. If Jalen Hurts maxes out his arm potential, right? I really feel like the best he would be is like a Donovan McNabb. Like, McNabb wasn't bad.
It could be that,
but you had McFlab. Like, he also had the name McFlab for a reason. Like, so it's like he
and just to answer Dub's question, is Jalen Hurts a leader? His coaches don't think so. That's why he wasn't the captain.
And guess what? This is why I hold Jalen Hurts is such a high standard. He has the whole organization doesn't even believe in him like that, and he still made the playoffs despite them not even believing in them. Like you said, Flores got fired because he didn't believe in Tua. So the quarterback, my head coach, my Eagles head coach, doesn't believe in Jalen Hurts. I don't agree with. I think that's unfair. And the fact that Jalen Hurts is playing like this, I think he should. I don't like him as a coach. I hate him. I think so. But Jalen Hurts, the fact that he's not on his back and helping him out, he's not. I'm saying he should. I'm just saying that. But the way that you guys are trying to put Mac Jones on this pedestal, saying give him time to learn, give him time to adjust, but then go the complete opposite with Jalen Hurts is crazy to me. It really is.
Well, but also remember, I know he didn't play last year, but it's still Jalen Hurts' second year. It's Mac Jones' first. So they're also in different points in their career.
It is.
I know you don't count when people don't play, but the rest of the world does. The rest of the world does.
Also, this too, man. If you look at that game, dude, like if you look at a lot of all the games, like that's why I say just go back and look at it. Jalen, out of everybody, missed the most opportunities. If you go back to the Rams and Cardinals game, they was just on Kyler's ass. I hate to say it, they was just on him like they wild pit bull dogs. I felt bad for him. But Jalen, he had time. He was just missing guys. It got to the point. That's why I always tell people, listen to the announcers. When the announcers start talking about it, it's bad, dude. Like they was showing where Devontae Smith was just doing the DBs bad in one-on-one coverage with Devontae Smith. He's wide open. It got to a point where they showed Devontae Smith on the sideline. He's pissed. He's livid. Like he telling receiver coach, get out my face. Like
he has his faults, and I believe I feel
what you're saying. But it's just gross, man. You can't have a receiver like what he has. Like, so another thing that bothers me too. Everybody that had a dynamic rookie receiver, Jalen Waddle, Chase, they got over 1,000 yards with their dynamic rookie receiver. Devontae Smith was the only dynamic rookie receiver that was struggling. He only got 912 yards. And that was why, because he played with Jalen Hurts. He's going to be fun to watch. He's going to put up those crazy fantasy numbers. But for the developments of receivers on that team, he's always going to hold him back, Dub. But I'm trying to tell y'all, a quarterback away. and y'all gonna have to find another one that's.
I don't think we're a
run
quarterback away.
offense.
I think there's more
Nick
to our
Foles.
team. I think there's more to our team that needs to be fixed. I don't think it's
Jalen
just a
Reagor.
quarterback, honestly. But it's just I agree with you where the whole
You're right, though.
finding a
You're
guy
right. Sorry to
struggles,
jump
though.
in. Sorry to jump in. You're right. The Eagles do need a lot. Yes, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
So how about Jalen Reagor though?
Jalen Reagor, I don't like him.
Yeah.
He's not that
He
good.
cost them a few. Yeah, I ain't go.
He's not. I'm sorry. The
yeah.
team is not good, and for the way that you guys are trying to bash this guy Jalen Hurts for inconsistency that he has, which I acknowledge. But guess what? He's still winning. He's still finding ways to win games. With that
Not anymore.
inconsistency, he's winning games. He made the playoffs fluent. You can't take that away from him. He made the playoffs over Tua. He didn't have Bill Belichick.
All
as
I'm
his
saying
coach.
though, if you get to play the Giants, Redskins, and Cowboys twice.
Listen, you know I don't like Tua, but you put
asterisks.
Miami in the NFC East and they're winning that thing. So don't go there.
They're not
At least
winning
come out with like 12 wins. 12 wins every year.
All right, fellas, we will continue to move along, and we will get to the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Why?
The Chiefs. Well, I mean, if you guys don't want to talk about it, we could just be real quick.
No, it ain't even that. It's just Ben Roethlisberger conceding defeat before the game even started. Oh, we probably don't have a chance. Even Najee Harris had to call him out. That's bad when a rookie got to call you out on certain things. I don't care if you don't think we got to. I don't care. I don't care if you think we go get blew out 100 to nothing. Don't publicly come out because like. What's Fluent was saying, you remember when they were saying, oh, why you go for two or you don't believe in the defense? That goes back the same thing with Ben Roethlisberger. When you say stuff like what he said, oh, we don't have a chance, that means you thought so low of your team this whole year. Like in my head, if I'm Najee, had over 500 touches this past year, like he had half of the team's touches. I'm pissed. Like, dude, like I really was out here risking my health because I believed in you, what you used to get up and preach in these team meetings. And now when we get to the playoffs, you say something like this, like I felt Najee why he said what he said about what Ben Roethlisberger, he posted it on his story. That was just whack. I felt like even if they did have a chance, being mentally, because football is all mental. Being mentally was already in retirement.
Ben said his goodbyes. Right? He had his last game at Heinz Field. They all cried. He said goodbye. He went to Baltimore. I think Terrell Suggs flew in, the rivalry there to say goodbye. They honestly had no business being in the playoffs. And I think Ben was just done. He was done. And I think, and I even said, I hope what he was saying was like reverse psychology to get his team and be like, hey, you know what? We have nothing to lose. Everybody's against us. I feel like he didn't do that. That's not what he did it for, unfortunately. Well, I was hoping he did. And he's just, look, Ben should have been retired already. So I think it's good. I think sometimes you got to take, old Yeller behind the barn and put him out of his misery. And I'm glad that it was done.
I don't
Ben's
know.
laughing. Brian likes that one.
I thought it was obvious that he was like being sarcastic and was basically giving the bird to the media. That's how I
was hoping. But
when I saw it was him being like, basically nobody's giving us a chance, and him just being like, well, you guys are asking me all these questions about how we're going to do, so I'm just going to kind of like throw it back in your face like, well, we don't even have a chance, so whatever, let's just go have fun. I thought that's where it was coming from. I can't imagine a player, coach, anybody involved like actually saying it and believing that genuinely. I just can't. I don't know.
Let's hope not. Did you see what I don't even want to bring up? Did you see what was trending on Twitter when the Steelers lost for Ben?
Retire?
No, it was big, and then his charge. I won't. Big rape was trending.
Yeah,
big rape.
Yeah,
that's just wrong. I just want to say that's wrong.
Yeah, no means yes in his book.
That's nasty.
That's wrong.
Nasty.
I'm sorry.
No means yes.
Ben, you got any comments on that game?
Chiefs are back.
Chiefs are back. Just like that.
Been nowhere.
Chiefs
Ron and Dub said they were never gone. So,
and that's a fact.
They were never. Fluent. You're on a time schedule right now.
No, we good. We good. Chiefs, right. Don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years. Yes, go ahead.
Dub, anything?
For what?
That's LL Cool J for all you young guys.
Yeah. Anything on your Chiefs?
Bro, what you say? The baby goat himself showed why he's the baby goat himself, bro. Like, I'm sorry. What else y'all want me to say? There's nothing else.
The fifth best quarterback of all time.
I'm sorry, bro. If you're not ready to put him there, I am, bro. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Okay. Show enough.
I'll put his brother there. Top 5 TikTokers of all time.
Yo, that's fire. His brother's a crazy TikToker.
Okay, so last but certainly not least, we have the Niners and the Cowboys. I'm actually here in Dallas at the moment. I touched down, and it was just a gloom and cloud in the sky.
You were the one that started throwing that trash, aren't you? LeBron was the first one.
Don't throw me out.
Sorry.
Don't call me out. I'm trying to keep it incognito, you know. So I want to hear how you guys feel about that.
Yeah. I'll say I lost $50, bro. I lost $50 on this game because I trusted them Cowboys never again.
I will never listen. I want you to know for 25 years, I doubted the Cowboys, and this season, I gave them the benefit of the doubt because I said on paper, I know it's on paper. That's the best team in football. That's the best team in football on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they're the Cowboys, and I think they have the worst coach in the NFL. And I don't want to be too mean on Dak, but I don't care what play my offensive coordinator or my coach calls. If there's 14 seconds left in the game, I'm not running the ball. I don't care what the ramifications are. I'm audibling out. I'm throwing that ball. You run a quarterback draw with 14 seconds left and no timeouts. Like, what is going through your head?
And what's funny to me was they blaming the refs, the Cowboys fans, to get on my nerves.
They wasn't blaming the fans. They wasn't blaming the refs. See, that's them delusion the Cowboys players are showing the fans that they go continue to do this bull crap over and over and over. DeMarcus Lawrence want to come on there and be like, "Oh, I believe they was throwing it at the fans." No, they was throwing it at you. They're sick of this. Y'all do this no team in the NFL now. For heaven's sake, we got teams like the Bills and the Chiefs are competing to show. Now we got the Bengals showing people that they can be competent and compete for playoff wins. The Cowboys do this every year. Unlike every other team in the NFL, the Cowboys have the most loaded roster. Living in the French Riviera somewhere, the most loaded roster. Everybody, 19,000 Pro Bowlers. They get everybody that go to the Pro Bowl. And they sit here and they do stuff like this over and over and over, head scratching plays. Oh, why they made this call? Why they do this? I used to be a diehard Cowboys fan. I got tired of rooting for them because they got rid of Dez Bryant. They started doing stuff like what the Jaguars do. Get rid of your whole bread and butter. Start getting rid of the whole mystique of your team, and it's just gross. Like people should be over it. They got the worst owner. That's what gets in the way of their success. You say it's the worst coach, it's the worst owner, because if he would put his ego to the side, no owner.
Because he doesn't want a coach, right?
Yeah,
he wants a subordinate. He wants a guy to listen to him and do what he says. I think if you take here's why I'm so adamant about this. One, because I started to believe in them, and that bothers me. Two, if you take that entire Cowboys roster, just the roster, forget all the coaching, forget the owner, just that roster, and put it in any other city, they're like 14-3, 15-2. They're your favorites, and they're dominating their way into the Super Bowl. It has nothing, not to say nothing to do with the players, but the players have the least to do with it, and it's kind of everything else. Maybe that's just my way of excusing myself for believing in them. I don't know.
So yeah, the Cowboys. Bolster, did you put your take in on this?
No, he's about to now though.
Go ahead, man.
I'm sorry, you just asked for my take.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, to me, it starts with Kyle Shanahan. I've always thought that Kyle Shanahan was a great coach. I never, bailed on him when I know his record got posted and it was the same as like Chip Kelly's through however many games. He is a great coach. I truly believe that. And he absolutely outclassed Mike McCarthy. The 49ers dominated that game. Just like so many NFL games, it just finds a way to be a one-possession game with the team that's down having the ball. Same as in the Bengals-Raiders game. The Bengals dominated that game, but all of a sudden the Raiders have the ball in like the 8 with the chance to tie. So to me, that's where it starts. Debo, I think was the best player on the field. And when I look at the Cowboys, they only have themselves to blame on every level, from coaches, which it all starts with the head coach. Don't get me wrong. The undisciplined actions got 14 penalties, which I believe was a record. And I don't think very many, especially at the end of the game, on Randy Gregory, on Gallimore, I don't think they were questionable at all. I think they were undisciplined plays that caught up to him. And I think Dak, he doesn't deserve all the blame. Don't get me wrong. But when you do get paid, and he's the third highest paid quarterback in the NFL, which every time it's your chance to get paid, you're going to kind of elevate a little higher than maybe what people would rank you. But he didn't play well at all. CeeDee Lamb, who I really like he was a ghost all day. Here's my thing on the last play that I think fans sometimes get out of control. Like, if you go back, pull up the still picture of them on the 40-yard line, they have literally built a wall on both sidelines. So essentially you have two options. You throw a Hail Mary, or you get the ball to the middle of the field with the spike. Right now, obviously, there's other ways to do that. I think the more traditional way is you throw that quick slant or seam to your number 2 or number 3 receiver, just based on formation. He gets down, you tell him 10 to 12 yards, get down, spike it. I think this is a case, which us offensive coaches can do sometimes, is trying to outthink the room. And on paper, this was like a genius call because it's perfectly safe. You're guaranteed 10 yards, which then at that point, I've seen some people on national sports talk, which I don't listen to much, but act like that's not a big deal. It's a massive deal if they were able to get that ball on the 25-yard line and get it spiked. Then you can run a legitimate play. The defense has to run a legitimate defense, and play action and pass interference becomes more of a legitimate offense, more of a legitimate option. Now, when it comes down to it, I still don't think the play call is what messed it up for him. I think it comes down to the same exact thing. It's undisciplined play. Like, Dak has to know that you can't go 17 yards on that. He went too far. Yep. Then he hands the ball to the center, and they try to just run a play. Like, everybody knows that. And then even some people I know were like, hey, the ref has to touch the ball. That's not even right. The ref has to spot the ball. Like, you can't just put the ball down wherever you want and go. The ref helped him out. He should have picked up the ball, walked him back 4 yards, and then put it down. He gave him a chance by just basically touching it, picking it up, and right back down. So to me, those were the major issues. It's not all on Dak, because if you watch the play, the linemen weren't doing what they were supposed to. The receivers were not ready, which all stems from the head coach down. I just think, like what always happens, it really with every game, but especially with the Cowboys, the emphasis always gets put on the wrong things, like most notably the refs or this one play call. That is not what cost them the game. What cost them is a lack of ownership. And that flowed over to after the game, where you have the head coach accepting no accountability, blaming the refs. The quarterback does the same. Other players do the same, and basically said that the refs or our fans, good on our fans for throwing trash at the refs. That's why you lose.
I think with that last play, it got to fall back on coaching, because now you're relying on too many variables. So I tell people this.
I can agree with that.
I don't know if y'all ever played football before, but in that fourth quarter, you tired. Like, so now when you're talking about scrambling, you got to pick up 12 instead of 17. I'm not finna do all that far thinking ahead when I'm tired. I'm trying to win the game.
I'm with you. That's how coaches think.
Yeah, I understand
on
that.
The whiteboard,
that's why
this is perfect.
A lot of coaches got to realize this too, because when I used to play, coaches used to say the craziest stuff like, I'm gonna run you until I get tired. You're not even running. Like, what does that mean? Like, you know what I mean? So yeah.
No, I want to ask you. You coach high school football, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What play you calling, and are you telling them not only the play when you know there's no timeout left? Are you not telling them we're running this play, then you do this, and then you're running this?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
And I would not have called a quarterback draw.
Thank you. Okay.
I wouldn't have. I would have done the more typical, hey, we're throwing it to the inside guy on whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it a slant, a glance, a seam, and he's getting down, everybody, like we've worked on this. I think Bama hit on the exact point. It was, you're calling something where everything has to go right. Like on paper, there's nothing wrong with it. It's almost like, I'm telling you, offensive coaches saw that and were like, that's kind of genius. But I'm telling you, because that's like, it's on the whiteboard, it's like, man, that's perfect. Our quarterback gets the ball, whatever. But it's like he said, everything had to go right, especially because I think Tony Romo was on the call. The standard number is 18 seconds. It was 14. So it made it to where Dak did have to go 12, not 17. He did have to run it to the ref. Like everybody had to be perfect for that to work out.
Mm-hmm. And how often does that happen?
Not often.
Not often. Okay.
You'd like to think the NFL,
right? Like it's not often that everything goes perfect. And how many times have we seen where because I remember I just saw they were showed this clip where, and I forget who it was supposed to like don't score. Don't score. Go down at the 1 yard line. And what's his name? I forget who it was. Sorry, I forget the play. But he goes into the end zone. Like he slips and he goes into the end zone, scores a touchdown. And then there's like the chances of everything going perfect. I like my chances better throwing it and everybody running up to the line and spiking it for me.
So I don't think everybody needs to pay attention or look even too deep into this game, bro. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Part of the reason why I be giving Matthew Stafford such a pass, he was on the Detroit Lions. It's the Dallas Cowboys, bro. Like, what do you expect? I don't know what it is in the NFL, but superstition is real, bro. When it comes to, if your team is known to be a disaster, your team is known to always fail for some reason, no matter how good of a player you have, they're gonna fail. And that's what happened, bro. As far as trying to point the fingers at Dak or even any of the players there, bro, there's no reason to. They're on the Cowboys. That's where they went wrong. They're on the freaking Cowboys.
The only favorite to lose this week.
They were only, yeah. And honestly, and the last thing I will say is the Dallas Cowboys wasn't even that good of a football team if we really dive down into it. They decimated, like destroyed the NFC East, which is why their record looked the way it was. But then everything outside of that, it doesn't look too good. So the record was,
never addressed their team needs,
and that's why you cannot base everything solely on records. You need to look at who they faced and what happened in the season.
Hey, Doug, I agree with you.
Yes, this definitely
historical moment.
Just because I've heard some people wondering, like, why run it all? The justification for running the ball is that your linemen are gonna meet you at the football as opposed to a pass.
Yeah,
that's the justification behind it. But like we talked about, everything.
Perfect.
Yeah, that certainly was the epitome of just the Dallas Cowboys over the last 26 years in general. And I just want to tell you, Cowboys fans, just keep your head up. All right. Well, if you got a friend that's a Cowboys fan, send them a text, check in on them, because it's not looking good down here.
Also, y'all can save that money. Y'all can save that money. Y'all go spend on them Super Bowl tickets and fix them teeth. Get them teeth.
Go check out. Since we look like a basketball show on Twitch, go check out the Mavs. They're having a pretty good season.
Dallas, man.
Before we go to the next topic, I'd like to say I can't believe we got them in the NFC Championship with that bracket.
Yeah, we're looking nasty right now, fellas. We're looking terrible.
You guys are wild.
By the way, that video was just posted of all of our playoff predictions from last week. I want you guys to go check it out and go like it. And now we will move into our hot topics of the week. Our first topic. I know we talked about him. We talked about him a little too much for my liking, but I want to know, did Matthew Stafford finally make it over the hump?
Yes, man. Like, stop, bro. Y'all over here trying to discredit this man. He was on the line.
What's the hump?
He was
What's
losing
the hump?
the lines, bro.
We talked about this last week. What's the hump? Winning a playoff game? Yes. Yeah, he won a game.
If I made all D's on my report card from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, and then some miraculous way I go to college and I start making C's. Yeah, like, I mean, it's like, yeah, dude, like you did do better than what you know what I'm saying, the effort you used to put in. But it's like, it's average, dude. Did you get a 3.0 at least? Like, no, like you come in here with a 2.0. Like, here's a cookie. Like, Congrats, bro.
You see?
Yeah.
Ron, I will double whatever the giveaway is that you're giving away money. I will double it if we stop talking about Matthew Stafford and move on.
My question to you guys though.
Done deal.
Wait.
Done
My
deal.
question, real quick. The Rams made it to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. Think about that.
Yeah,
So
some
what
defense.
the hell makes y'all think that's I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but that's not even a possibility with Matthew Stafford. Come on.
And they
bro.
also did play the Cowboys too to get.
Yeah, to
Bro,
get in
bro.
there.
I'm just saying.
This is a tougher road.
It's not.
Yes.
Listen,
tougher
they're
road.
gonna beat the Bucs, and then they got Green Bay, and honestly, I think they might lose to Green Bay. Honestly, that's it.
Well, there you go.
Well, I think that's the point. Like, if you make it, they weren't having problems winning playoff games with Jared Goff. Like, yeah, this is a milestone for Matthew Stafford, but the expectation is to win a Super Bowl. So if they go out and lose to the Bucs, that's a failure for the organization, for Matthew Stafford, and for Sean McVay. And I think that's the way we have to look at it, especially if we want to consider him to be elite, because that roster is stacked. I know they aren't deep; they are stacked.
That's facts. But I think they beat the Bucs, and I think they beat them
well might.
pretty. I think they beat them pretty easily.
Also, let me ask you this, Doug.
What's up?
Just out of all the quarterbacks that was free agents over this past summer when they picked up Matthew Stafford, but you had Carson Wentz, super trash. Who else they had out there? Phillip Rivers, he's borderline retired, another trash. Who else? Nobody else really. Cam Newton, trash. Who else they had? What other free agent quarterbacks they had to pick from? So out of the pool, so out of the pool of quarterbacks, of course, Matt Stafford is like I'm trying to upgrade from Jared Goff. Jared Goff is one level above Butter Mayfield. Like, when I say one level, I'm talking about if you look out your door, if you in Butter Mayfield house and look out your door, like Jared Goff is about to knock on the door and be like, hey, what y'all doing in there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's a party.
They live on the same block.
Same block.
Hey, I smelled you cooking chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, he over there trying to see what y'all doing. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get away from this. So it's like, hey, Matt Stafford is over here, and it's just like, I mean, I'll take it. That's the best.
He lives around the corner.
Exactly, around the corner, not on the same block. He lives around the corner though, so it's like
but
I don't get to look at him every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to look at you.
You can't use that as a way to discredit him, honestly, because, bro, I mean, that still doesn't take away
If
the
Deshaun
talent that
Watson
You
was
lost.
available,
You lost. Ron, you just lost
Watson was
$100, and it's going
available,
down more and more.
If Deshaun
You're gonna
Watson
owe
was
me
available,
money.
he'll be in LA right now. And
Okay,
LA would be the real favorite.
We're moving on. We're done with Matthew Stafford for the year. Okay, he's gonna have to make the playoffs next year for us to talk about him again.
No, we'll talk about him next week, when he throws a pick six and they lose. We'll talk about it and then move on. Three picks next week.
that sounds about right.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. 3 picks.
Okay, fellas. Tom Brady is older than every opposing NFC coach still in the playoffs. How do you guys feel about this? This is insane.
He the GOAT, bro. Just the GOAT. I got nothing else to say about it.
Some of us, myself, Tom Brady, we just get better and better as we get older.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
We're like Benjamin Button.
We're like crazy. We're just what can I say? Me and Tom, we like that.
He's old.
Let me find out. Let me find out y'all drinking baby blood over there. Adrenochrome. That's what it is. That's why y'all stay.
Whatever it takes.
Y'all like vampires or something.
The dude is old, bro. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, all right, congratulations. Like, you're old, bro. Like, it's great what he's doing. We all know this.
The thing is, he's not that old for an NFL coach. Like, that's what's crazy.
Yep.
NFL coach.
That's how young McVay, Shanahan, and LaFleur are, especially when they started. Like, Kyle Shanahan's been calling plays for like 10 years, and he's still not 44 yet. McVay was like 30 years old when he got the head coaching job. Like, that's what's crazy. They all come from the same tree. All three offensive geniuses. It's pretty crazy.
Okay. We spoke on it a little bit more. The Raiders fired their GM after only 3 seasons. Was this a good move, bad move?
Good.
For sure.
It was a bad move when they hired him. And it was a good move when they fired him. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't like hiring analysts, like, unless it's me. I just like unless there's a background, right? Like I feel like you need to pay your dues a little bit. And I hate that there's a lot of people who are getting jobs, and I get it, and I understand why, but who are getting jobs who've never like done it before, done anywhere. Like honestly, he went from doing draft analysts to running a team. It's a big difference. It's a big difference running a team. So I don't know. Maybe I'm old school and I just think you need to earn what you get. But
nah, you're right, because experience is the best teacher. So him not having that experience firsthand of knowing what it takes to be a part of an NFL team, there's no reason why he should have gotten that job to begin with. So you are right with that.
Did we agreed twice today, Doug?
That's my brain is hurting.
Whew.
My brain is on fire right now. I can't believe it.
It's a miracle. Okay, Jimmy G has a strange shoulder right now. Do we have any updates on his injury? And is this bad news for the Niners?
No, I mean, they could be put out anyway against the Green Bay and them. So I don't even think it matters either way. But I think they did say he was in practice though. I think he will play.
Gotcha. Yeah, they're gonna lose anyway, so it really doesn't matter. It is what it is.
The 49ers, they've had a pretty good history against the Packers. Kyle Shanahan, he's owned LaFleur.
You think he's gonna fold him? You think he's gonna fold Aaron Rodgers?
It depends if Nick Bosa plays. If Nick Bosa plays, I mean, that's the key. To beat any of these great quarterbacks, you have to have that front four and not need to blitz. They're gonna have a chance. They're gonna have a chance. I believe they played this year, and I think that game was like a 2-point game or something. So,
Brian, that's the injury we should be talking about.
Yeah, I think that's more impactful. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't have any update. I just know concussion.
Yeah,
usually these players in the NFL find a way to come back really quick from concussions.
Yeah, that's a great take. Gabe Ward, what's your question, bro? And Bama, you could answer real quick.
If you guys want to. If not, we can move on to our next topic.
Oh, yeah. I was just about to say, man, Kyle Shanahan ain't got no chance against Aaron Rodgers. We know LaFleur sound like he the coach. He not the coach. We already know who the coach is, number 12. He running that show over there. He already know what to do, and it's just not going to happen. Not this year. That year they went to the Super Bowl, I'll give y'all that one. Everything was clicking. Y'all had all the ducks. They had all the ducks in a row. What spoke powerfully, that's what I think they really going to drive. When Brett Favre came on there, he didn't even congratulate him. The dude just said, hey, bring up a championship to Green Bay. Like, that just further lets you know what's on Aaron Rodgers' mind right now. It's championship or bust for that whole team. And this is the year he finna show everybody. This is the year he gets over the NFC hump, because I think he watches Players' Choice. He's been listening to sports_fluent. So it's the year he get over that NFC hump.
Were you yawning about sports_fluent?
I'm just, when we get to talking about Aaron Rodgers and the NFC Championship, I don't know.
Hey, listen, for him to get there, for Aaron Rodgers to get to the NFC Championship game, he has to exercise his demons against the 49ers, because he's 0-3 against the 49ers in the Super Bowl, or in the playoffs.
Yep.
So he's going to have to do that. And then, hey, why not exercise those NFC Championship demons? I don't know. Why not?
For those of you who don't know, Aaron Rodgers is from Chico, California. I live right down the street from there. Maybe he grew up a 49ers fan.
He sure did.
He's still a fan.
Oh, wow.
Maybe
wow.
So you think, I want to be clear on this conspiracy. I want to be on. I want to be clear on this conspiracy. So one, LaRon is telling you he was at Aaron Rodgers' house knocking on the door and he smelled some chicken, like Jared Goff did to Butter Mayfield. And two,
he doesn't cook the same thing as those other quarterbacks. It was actually filet mignon.
It's probably like vegan stuff or something. Yeah. All right. So let me ask you, and so you think Aaron Rodgers is going to throw this game? They lose, and then he's going to call up Kyle Shanahan and say, hey, I know you drafted Trey Lance. Jimmy G's on his way out. Let me come home and take the San Francisco team next year?
I hope. Please no. Please no.
you don't want him in the NFC West.
Please no.
So, Gabe Ward's question is: would Nick Saban be as successful in the
Yeah,
NFL right now?
I was
like
about
he
to
is
say that.
in college.
I'll say this. So when Nick Saban was like at the Dolphins in the beginning, he was there when Ricky Williams was there. He almost ran with Ricky Williams in the dirt. 1,000 carries in 2 years. That's OD. That's ridiculous, bro. Also, his practice was very hard. Heath Evans, former fullback, came out and talked about how difficult his practices was, and the way he used to talk to grown men is not how you would want to talk to him. Nick Saban was younger back then, though, so I could understand why, you know, the way he used to coach was just a little different. It was more catered to college football. I would say his attitude, how he is now, would be more suited for NFL, but the age factor, he's 70, so he's more on the downhill slope. I think Nick Saban ready to chill on the lake with Terry and just, kick back and, raise his grandbabies. And it's almost time for Nick Saban to hang up the coaching. Kudos to him, though, because a lot of football coaches, they don't like to adapt, with the times or whatever. And I've really seen Nick Saban adapt over the years at Alabama to fit the type of players that come through there. With that being said, he was more suited to, with the attitude he has right now, it is more suited for an NFL team. But like I said, the age factors in there. I don't think it's more of a young man's game.
Didn't Nick Saban fail twice in the NFL?
No, so they were good with the Browns. So him, Bill Belichick, he was a defensive coordinator. They was actually solid over there. They got the Browns actually to the playoffs
again before. Okay.
Then he went over to the Dolphins. They weren't bad, but they weren't good either. And the reason why they weren't as good, he wanted Drew Brees. Drew Brees just didn't pass the physical in 2006. So
yeah, that I remember. He wanted Drew Brees, and he ended up. That's when he ends up going to the Saints, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that would have been nice for the Dolphins.
And he just didn't pass the physical. They had him. He just didn't pass the physical.
Yeah.
So I would have to I would have to disagree with you, Bama, because Nick Saban, bro. I mean, listen, bro. Nick Saban and Garb the Fist has said in the chat. He said exactly what I was gonna say. It's a difference when you're not having all of the best players on your team. And Nick Saban said to have that same amount of success, that means he has to be dominant in the same way as a Bill Belichick. I don't see that happening ever. So I'm sorry, Bama. I gotta disagree, bro. Like, I'm sorry. It is what it is. I don't see him having that same level of success in the NFL at all.
Okay. Moving on to our next topic. Did AB ruin the Bucs Super Bowl chances?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's over for the Bucs. Nobody's putting a single dollar on them.
They're not beating the Rams,
not
bro.
A sliver of a hope.
They're not beating the Rams, bro.
Look, as long as you have number 12, you have a hope. As long as you have number 12, you have hope. Mm-hmm. But did AB hurt their chances?
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I agree. Once you have Tom Brady, you have a chance. I think they're still favored over the Rams, and it'll be a hill to climb. Don't get me wrong, but you can't count out the Bucs with that defense, especially because they're just now getting healthy. If that defense is able to replicate what they did last year in the playoffs, then creating those turnovers in the Bucs, hey, regardless of the receiver situation, they found a way to put up 30 plus every week, no matter what. So it's just going to put a little bit more on the defense to carry. And Tom Brady has done it with undrafted lacrosse players. He's done it with just as much, if not less. So I still think they have a pretty good chance.
They do have a chance, but bro, the Rams, like you said, bro, people keep want to focus on Matthew Stafford and not focus on what the team has going for themselves. They got Odell, Cooper Kupp, where nobody's checking them on that team. Especially even if they come back this week, they haven't played all season. They're not checking them. You got Aaron Donald and Von Miller coming at Tom Brady, and I didn't even talk about Jalen Ramsey yet. Like, bro, I'm sorry, the Rams, I don't see in any way, shape, or form they're beating them without AB.
It's going to make it tough when Ramsey could potentially just take out Mike Evans.
And they're
left with just Brashad Perriman and Tyler Johnson.
Yeah. It's not even that. AB is just a neutralizer to DBs like Jalen Ramsey. Like, the only way you can beat those guys is with a good route runner. But they ain't got that right now.
I think they're going to be focused on the running game more, because I think Leonard Fournette supposed to come back this game. So
that will help him out a lot. That would help them out a lot.
Okay, we shall see. My next question: did Cooper Kupp really have the best season of any receiver, statistically wise?
Yeah, if you want to talk about statistics, of course, like by the numbers, is his game. I mean, he did have a good season, but like I my daddy always taught me this, man. You gotta go based off what your eyes see it, man. And like if you really look at the tape, Cooper Kupp, it was a lot of he got schemed for it. But if you like really want to look at who looked like the eye test. That's why a lot of people say Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete of all time, because when you turn that TV on, you saw him physically dominating his opponents. Like it was just like you just couldn't really say, "Hey, these dudes is better than him." And like my personal opinion, I love Devontae Adams, but if I had to go off of a receiver who had the best season, is Justin Jefferson. That dude, he looked virtually unstoppable. Like it was certain, even against the Packers, like it was times Aaron Rodgers would go down there and score, and Justin Jefferson would just make a play where the DB is right on him. He'll catch the ball, jump. It was just, I was like, yeah, this dude is he's special. Like he's starting to emerge. Like I say, if he do this again next year, he finna get my vote for the best receiver.
He probably can get like 2,000 yards if he can. Yeah, and this is with Kirk Cousins.
Yep. Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook, let's not forget that the Vikings are a run-first offense. I believe if he was in an offense like Sean McVay, that type of offense, he would have easily had 2,000. He probably would have been pushing 2,500.
You talking about JJ,
Justin
right?
Jefferson, yeah. Justin Jefferson was in that offense. He damn near would have been pushing 2,500 yards.
I love JJ, but you also got to look at it as in like Kirk Cousins is almost as the same lines as Matthew Stafford. Like even though he doesn't have a lot of playoff success, he's still a very productive quarterback in the NFL. And the fact that they are a run-first team, but that also helps take some pressure off of Justin Jefferson because they're focusing on the pressure on stopping the run, which frees Justin Jefferson to be who he is. So you could counteract that statement as well, but I'm not mad at saying that JJ is better than Cooper Kupp.
You're talking statistics only?
Statistics
like if you're talking statistics only, then yes, he did, because although he received 20 less yards than 20 or 30 less yards than Calvin Johnson, he had 11 more touchdowns. So statistically only, yeah, he did. Am I again, I say this every single time. Am I taking Cooper Kupp as the best wide receiver ever? No. But statistically, yeah, he had the best season ever.
Honestly, you want to know my take? You want to know my
Not
take?
really.
No, I think it's very impressive that a slot wide receiver put up this amount of numbers. I think it's very, very impressive that a slot receiver that doesn't demand that type of attention like a Calvin Johnson did something like that. So, good job, Matthew Stafford.
I mean,
you got to get, listen, if you don't give Cooper Kupp like his due for what he did this season, again, we're not talking about who's the best receiver all time. We're just saying this season, if you don't give him the respect that then there's something wrong with you. Like you have an ulterior motive, because statistically, production wise, yeah, he had one of the greatest seasons ever. And you can't deny that. You can't. And here's the thing. It's funny because we talk about the slot and those types of things where he lines up. But like, what if I told you him and Devontae Adams average air yards per reception? Same. 8.6, 8.3. It's the same. So who cares where he's lining up?
It's a difference. It's a difference when you're not posing. It's a difference when you don't have the ability to pose as a deep threat for your team. There's a difference.
Well, but they're average. But hold on. But their average air yards.
They still, they still have to respect Devontae Adams as that deep threat more than.
Isn't it easier to defend a guy that can't go deep?
No, it's not.
No.
What are you talking about?
I'm just asking.
Wait. You said what? What was the question? I'm sorry.
Isn't it easier to defend a receiver who isn't a deep threat? So he's only going to be.
It is easy.
Yeah, but that's when you talking about like if we just playing 1-on-1, like when we playing 11-on-11, like to where I could scheme this dude to do, like that's why I'm trying to tell people, like Alabama lost a national championship to Hunter Renfrow, like putting on a clinic with just little short routes they scheming up to where.
And let me ask you, isn't the production and the win more important than anything else? Because you just said Matthew Stafford not putting up a bunch of yards and all that stuff. It doesn't matter. They got the win, right? They game plan to get the win. Isn't that the most important thing is winning?
No. I said that the way that you guys were trying to discredit Matthew Stafford was wrong. That was wrong. What he did in that game, I thought he played very well. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Now, the way you're trying to context Ben, this whole Cooper Kupp thing and Devontae Adams things, like, come on, Fluent. Like, we all know this. Like, when we're talking about somebody being that X receiver role for the team, you're gonna pick Devontae Adams, and then for the slot receiver role, I would be dumb enough not to say Cooper Kupp. But for somebody who can do all of that, all facets of being a wide receiver in the NFL, you're going with Devontae Adams, and we both know this.
Hey, Ron, Ben, Tyler Lockett, if he were to have the reception, yards, and touchdown number one right across the board for all three, would you say he had the best season of a wide receiver?
I would stay consistent. How Doug prides himself on being consistent, because I'm saying Cooper Kupp had the best season.
You are. Okay.
He was the best receiver this year, so I'm gonna say Tyler Lockett would be.
Now, just because, listen,
now, would you say that DK Metcalf is a significantly better kind of counterpart to him at wide receiver than, let's say, Robert Woods? Would you say that Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford?
I'll give you that, but I ain't just finna say DK better than Robert Woods. I gotta stop you right there. Like that's why Cooper Kupp. That's why Cooper Kupp wouldn't put them numbers up. He wouldn't have put up 1,900 yards. Because let's not forget, Robert Woods was the receiver number one over there at LA until he got hurt. Let's not forget that. Like that's who was drawing the double teams at first.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So when he gets hurt, does Kupp's production go down?
No, it goes up. It goes up. You want to know why? Because
you
want to know why it goes up? Because it's called it's called opportunity. So when you have a guy like, look at Henry Ruggs, right? Hunter Renfrow, he wasn't putting up the yards or the receptions where Henry Ruggs was in that, when Darren Waller was in that. But when those guys went out, guess what happened? They had no choice but to go to him. They had no choice. So if Robert Woods goes out, this is the thing. We never even got to see Matt Cooper Kupp's numbers go up astronomically because Odell Beckham came in right after. That's the difference. Now, I don't know where you're going with this whole DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett situation. I'm kind of interested to see. Because if you're trying to say that Tyler Lockett or something like that is, I don't know what you're going with that, honestly.
I was just asking Ron and Ben who they would have. That's all.
I mean, I'll say this though, as a Seahawks fan, I think Lockett is a better receiver than DK, because Lockett got all the attributes, but DK is more of a physical guy. He's better
physical specimen. Yo, Brian. How you feel about this topic, and how do you feel about Cooper Kupp? He's been a hot topic over the last few weeks. Everybody give my man the floor.
Cooper Kupp, without a doubt, had the best season. I mean, you can make a case he had the greatest wide receiver season of all time, just statistically. Like, you can make that case, and the worst you could probably say is fifth best. The thing I don't get here is people say Cooper Kupp is schemed up. It's like, Devontae Adams is too. Odell is too. DeAndre Hopkins is too. Like, everybody's schemed up, and not just motions. Because if we want to say motions and slot, you know who plays in the slot a decent amount? Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson was actually a slot receiver in college. I give you, Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the league, and I would probably take Justin Jefferson over Cooper Kupp as well. Don't get me wrong. But I just think a lot of these arguments are, I don't know, they're just weird. I don't think they would be applied to all players. Like, of course, Cooper Kupp can't do everything, but every receiver is schemed up. And Devontae Adams, again, if you watch the game, is in similar ways. Another example I'd bring up is, like, who's the X receiver on the 49ers? Because they don't have one, right?
It'll probably be Brandon Ayuk.
I think so.
Debo, I never hear Debo. I've never heard it once. People discredit him for being schemed up. And he, if we want to go by movement, is more schemed up than any player in the NFL.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing from a coach's perspective. When I scheme you up, there's two ways. which I'll give credit to both sides on this, because when I scheme you up, that means I think you're the dude. Like, I want you getting the ball. So I'm not going to let any defense dictate coverage, dictate a double team, anything, because I want you getting the ball. Now, the other side of that is you leave a player that you want, hey, he's going to be isolated. If he's ever one-on-one, we're going there. Like, I get it. But Cooper Kupp, like, I just can't imagine. Like, he has 2,000 yards. It's the Triple Crown. The Triple Crown. Not even close. And people want to act like, yeah, good year. To me, the only other case that you could give to anybody else this season on, like, statistic impact would be Debo, because he has like 1,400 receiving yards and what he added in the ground game.
But as strictly a receiver, when the number 2 is Devontae Adams this season, and I agree, I'm taking Adams and Jefferson over.
Number 2 is Jefferson. Number 2 is Jefferson. 1,600.
1,600. Yeah, you're right. 1,600. But I'll okay, fine. 1,600. So he's got 300 more than him, or 400 more than him, 500 more than Justin Jefferson. He's got 5 more touchdowns than Devontae Adams, 6 more than Justin Jefferson. 20 plus yards receptions. He's got 30. Adams 19. Justin Jefferson's close. He's closer, actually, right, with 27. 40 plus. He's got 9. Devontae Adams 4. Justin Jefferson 5. Like, it's not just these little dink and dunk things that you guys are talking about. He did everything statistically better than those guys. Period.
He's great.
I just say give him some respect. Just give him some respect. He had the best season, period.
And I've always gave you that. I've always gave you that respect, that I'm not taking that anything away from him. My whole basis of my argument on time and time again, I'm probably going to pick a lot of guys over Cooper Kupp to be the wide receiver of my team. That's how I base all of my rankings. That's how I base every single thing when I'm ranking players, teams, all of that. It's who
all
I'm
saying
first.
is if you put like somebody like a Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson in that same slot, dude, like, they are well over 2,000 yards. Like, because like,
why don't they?
Why doesn't anybody do it?
Why don't they do it? I'm sick
because they're not Sean McVay.
So Sean
McVay
is the only offensive coordinator in the NFL that has any brains.
No, he's the only offensive coordinator in the NFL that uses the receivers the way he uses them. Like, it's more like, it's almost like a bridge between the college and the NFL. These other guys are being used in a more traditional way where they're seeing damn near punt coverages. So the way I would have to scheme up for Devontae Adams, like, they even tell you, Devontae Adams even tell you, oh, what route did you run right here? Oh, I just made up a route, because if you look at how they playing me something like a punt coverage. So I just can't sit up here and run a regular route like how y'all be wanting me to run. Like, them boys are going against, like, they're running a traditional offense. Like, they're not running a young, innovative offense. These dudes are running traditional offenses and still putting up similar numbers of what he's putting up. Now, if you take that and put that over in a pass-happy, quarterback-friendly offenses, all of them dudes, everything is sick. They make the most out of their situations. Everybody's making the most out of their situations. But what Dub is speaking to is, if you look at Cooper Kupp's situation, the scheme that he's in is just like a lot. Like, even in college, we had this. It was a receiver. He had like 1,900 yards because the scheme that they was in. But when they went head to head with our receiver did him bad, like a head to head, because athletically the dude didn't possess what our receiver possessed to go through the certain things that they went through throughout the course of a football game. Yes, he did have 1,900 yards, but them stats is so hollow, bro. Like, it's just so hollow. So you got to go back. You got to go off the eye test.
Hollow,
it wasn't like a dominant. Like, if you look at Calvin Johnson's 1,900 yards, it was like a dominant 1,900 yards. It really went. That's why, like, if you really look at everybody, just talk to everybody about Cooper Kupp. They look at it as like, nah, because your eyes don't lie. Like, yes, he did put up 1,900 yards, and nobody's gonna take that from him. But it was just like, damn, like.
But it sounds like. But here's the thing: you say no one's gonna take that from him, but you guys are taking it from him because you're making every possible excuse. Why? Well, he had 19, but if anybody else was there, they would have had more. Oh, Sean McVay's the only coach in the NFL that could do that. You are taking it away from him. You absolutely are, because that's what you just did. You made every excuse why, well, anybody else would have had more. That's taking it away from him.
Let me ask you this. Why come Cooper Kupp is not the X receiver of that team?
That's not his role.
No. Why isn't it his role, though?
That was the point I made. This system does not run like that. The 49ers don't have an X. Guess what? LaFleur with Devontae Adams, who we all love, that's the same tree. It's the same offense. It's the same. Now, they don't have all the players to be – they don't have a Debo. They don't have as much, but it's the same. Like, Devontae Adams gets so schemed up, and he's awesome. They should do it. They throw to him all the time where he crosses the formation. They run the little arrow with them blocking it. They run it on the goal line. It happens all the time. Like, I get
bro,
it.
but you could utilize Devontae Adams in more ways than just that. They use that because yes, they try to use that as the best of his abilities, but that doesn't take away the fact that if you could have Devontae Adams, you fill in that slot role to draw that attention, to open up doors for everybody else to eat. Cooper Kupp, you can't use him in that same way. You cannot, and you know you can't.
So let me ask you a question. So if Devontae Adams went for 1,900 yards, led the league in yards, receptions, and touchdowns, he's the greatest. That's the greatest season ever because it's Devontae Adams.
Wouldn't say anything about it. It would just be
Devontae Adams. Let me ask you a question. I'm asking you a question. Would you say
if he would have put up
he's the best season ever?
It would have been dominant because this is what I'm going to speak to. Yes, y'all can sit there and be like, oh, they scheme up for Devontae Adams, but a dude that played defense. When it all boils down to it, what they were saying when the Cardinals ran that little trick play, when it all boils down to it, man, when they really need a bucket, Devontae Adams is going to line up at that X. They're not going to do all of this. Oh, I'm going to move you over here.
I'm asking you a question.
They're going to line up at
Devontae
X,
Adams
and Devontae Adams is going to get busy. He's going to get busy. So to go back to your point,
had the exact same stats,
because it's going to be a point. Yes, because it's going to be a point in there where he lines up.
Then you guys are straight haters.
It's going to be a point in there where he lines up.
I never said nothing.
You're basically saying the girl looks good, so I don't care that she's dumb. She looks good, so I like her better.
I get what you're saying.
Hold
on. But y'all are saying because the production comes from an outside receiver, that's just automatically better because the Rams, guess what? When the going gets tough, they're going to Cooper Kupp on an option route. That's
dumb for you guys.
It's the same thing. The main thing is, and this is why I know y'all are hating at least a little bit, is when you say the stats are hollow for a team that won 12 games, won their division, and won a playoff game, those stats aren't hollow. Like, that's not hollow. And one other thing, again, Cooper Kupp is not the best receiver in the league.
I agree with that. I think he had the best
one other
season.
Thing, did y'all know? Do y'all know how big Cooper Kupp is?
6'3", 208.
Yeah.
He's bigger than Devontae Adams.
So this is all I'm saying. Y'all keep saying this. This is why I just see y'all losing the argument right here. Y'all keep saying, oh, I'll give you that Cooper Kupp isn't the best receiver in the league. If Devontae Adams and Justin Jefferson had 1,900, y'all gonna say they're the best receiver in the league, though.
But no. Let's be clear. I'm saying,
like, what is the argument?
Because I was just about to ask that.
My argument.
No, wait. No. We're not
even
fighting that because you're talking about a whole different
Cooper Kupp
point.
had the best season. Cooper Kupp was the best wide receiver this season.
We're not. No. That's
all I'm
where
saying.
we disagree. We are saying that we're not taking away that he had the best season. We're not taking that away from him.
But you are.
No, we're not. All that we are saying. No.
Anybody else would have done better.
We're agreeing on the same thing, Fluent. We're saying the same exact thing. We are saying that we're not picking Cooper Kupp, maybe top 5 or top 1, because of his flaws, and we're acknowledging his flaws. That's not hating. That's keeping it real. We're acknowledging his flaws. He had one of the most dominant seasons that we've ever seen, and you cannot take that away from him. But just because he has that does not make him the best wide receiver in the NFL. How many people are talking about Deebo Samuel and what he is doing? How many people are talking about Deebo Samuel as a top 5 or top 10 wide receiver? They're not. You want to know why? Because it goes to the point what Bolster's saying. I see a lot of them scheming up Deebo in that same way. That's what I see. A lot of people aren't putting him. Bolster, there's not a lot of people putting Deebo Samuel top 5. I have not seen a lot.
For sure.
Top 10 maybe.
Sure.
Top 10
but
maybe.
Here's the thing, like, coaches would roll their eyes at that. At the notion that a player gets schemed up so he's worse. Like, I don't get that. I just don't get it. I know what you mean, as in he can't do everything. Cooper Kupp is not Randy Moss. Like, he's not Calvin Johnson. I'm with you there. But to me, why I ask what the argument is, I thought the argument, or at least the question we were having, is did he have the best season? And somehow that turned into
because this is the issue.
Actually, it's not impressive. and actually other guys would have done
very impressive.
2,500 yards. Like, not, hey, I think
something no one's ever done before.
I think Jefferson.
Anybody else there does something that no one's ever else done before.
I think he would have got, hey, you know what? Calvin Johnson, if he would have been used this way, 3,000 yards.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
You're right. Calvin Johnson couldn't have done this. And that's no knock on him. He can't do what
it's a difference because it's a whole difference because you have guys on that field that are able to take that pressure off of him. Like, you have to respect Robert Woods for who he is. You have to respect Odell for who he is. The teams have to respect that because if they don't respect him, that's when Robert Woods start eating. That's when Odell. It's a whole scheme. It's a whole unit. This is the perfect scenario. If I have Cooper Kupp and Hunter Renfrow as the receivers of my team, you know what my offense is gonna look like? It's gonna be nothing but checkdowns, or one of those guys are going to look terrible. One of those guys are going to look terrible because one of them is going to have to be the decoy, and they're not going to be playing that good of a decoy role in that X receiver role.
You know what? I'm not even going to give you the stat. I'm going to tell you to go use Google because it's free. Go find out what percentage, because I just did it. Go find out what percentage Justin Jefferson played in the slot. All right, next topic. That's because y'all have no idea what you're talking about.
Like Devontae Adams,
like a 92%. Get out of here. Get away from me.
But he's still a better deep threat than Cooper Kupp. He is still a much better threat.
Get out of
here. He's still a better deep threat. But Cooper Kupp does better things too. So all you're saying is
Cooper Kupp is garbage. No, Cooper Kupp is garbage. He can't catch a ball. He doesn't know how to run. And the only reason he got the greatest season ever is because they schemed him up. Okay, I got your argument. Good job, guys.
All right, fellas.
You guys are going to take our credibility as Gridiron and fucking knock it down. No one's going to fucking trust us anymore. Go ahead. Go.
Hey,
next.
We do have to move on. Before we move on, Dub, I need my solo clip on TikTok because I'm going to say Cooper Kupp was the best receiver this year. He produced the most this year. And next year, if I have to choose a receiver, give me Cooper Kupp all schemed up all day long. If he's going to give me not one, not two, but the triple crown, I want Cooper Kupp. He's the best receiver in the league. Next topic, we will go into.
You wanna go to the awards?
No. Well, before we go there, I just want to. Well, yeah, we'll do that next week. Let's get into the awards right now.
I bet. All right, fellas. So we're gonna do like what we did for the playoff bracket last year. Not last episode. We're gonna do an award ceremony, and we're gonna vote on who's gonna win which award. So first is first. We're gonna start off with the Coach of the Year.
Who we think's gonna win, or who we think should win?
It's up. Listen, bro.
It's your vote. It's your vote. You're giving the award.
Yep.
Unbiased. I promise.
I agree with you.
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel's a great one. I love him.
Are we voting in just majority rules? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. We're voting majority rules just like last week.
Okay. Yeah, I got Mike Vrabel too.
Bama?
Bama?
Do you want us to make our case or just make our pick?
I would love to hear y'all case, honestly.
I'm going Zach Taylor. What he been doing is crazy with the Bengals. I'm gonna go Zach Taylor.
Bama?
I don't know. I might go LaFleur, man. It's tough to say. I'll probably go LaFleur.
Say he wasn't the real coach.
Dub?
Man, Bill Belichick.
LaFleur, who's not the real coach of the Packers, gets Coach of the Year.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, because he's walking on thin ice, so you got to make sure his I's is dotted and his T's is crossed. So it's just like he might as well win that.
So LaFleur is gonna get it.
How's LaFleur gonna get it?
Wait, who's getting it? Mike Vrabel or?
Vrabel.
Yeah,
Vrabel got the most votes.
Yeah, Vrabel got the most votes. I'm just saying LaFleur though. I just want to be like everybody else, be different.
Got you.
Okay. Next we have our Rookie of the Year.
Oh, Jamar Chase.
Is this offense and defense combined?
No, we're gonna do both Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, offense is Jamar Chase. I think he's better than Justin Jefferson. Just by the way.
Oh wow. It's Offensive Rookie of the Year. Is that what we said? I'm gonna go Najee.
Yeah, easy. Najee.
Over Jamar. Oh.
So Jamar has the best supporting cast on that team. He's not even the best player on that team. It's Joe Mixon. That's the person that's going to really help them weather the storm. So,
like, if you think about it, like, yeah, what Bama's saying, like, if you think about it, he's got what we just said was a top tier quarterback. He's got T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, then him. He's got an okay tight end, and he's got a really good. Listen, say what you want about Joe Mixon, but Joe Mixon had a really, really good year. He's a really good right. Najee Harris
receiving
had noodle arm Ben,
yep,
and nothing. Like, he had nothing. So what he
Joe
did,
Mixon put up 1,500 all-purpose, 16 touchdowns. Najee Harris did similar, 1,500 all-purpose, 13 touchdowns with a trash O-line. And I'm not gonna say his support. It was a soap opera over there. He had the TikTok crew, Corvette. You know what I mean? What's my boy over there? He's kind of like similar like DK, dude. Claypool. They physical specimens, but they not all the way up here for some reason. They be in their own head. They little Madonnas. Like, I love Deontay Johnson. Like I say, top 5 route runner in the NFL. But Big Ben, like I said, Najee was over half of the touches. I think it was like 1,000 offensive plays or whatever, and Najee touched the ball 500 times. That was with receptions and carries, and also 300 carries, no fumbles. That's pretty nice.
So where we 2-2. So who's the tiebreaker? We're 2-2.
Is it you, Brian, or is it you, Dub?
It's me.
No, Brian had Chase. I think Ben, you had Chase too, right?
Chase.
Yeah, so 2 Chase, 2 Najees, and it's to Dub.
It's to me, baby. Hey, Fluent. We 3 for 3. I got Najee Harris. Najee Harris, bro, like what you guys said, he has no offensive line. He doesn't have that good of a QB, and the way he's been showing out for that team, I love it. I love
Chase go.
Brian, so you know, in a year, Dub and I haven't agreed 3 times, and we just did it 3 times today. So you've seen something special.
Has been made.
You're seeing something special.
It's crazy.
History has been made.
I just got to say, Najee Harris, I know trash O-line, 3.9 yards per carry. He didn't fumble at all until the playoffs. That's awesome. I just think Jamar Chase is a better player.
Jamar's the eye test. You're gonna see it and be like, yeah, he's flashed. Like, you're gonna like it better. But if you look at deep, it's Najee.
The 3.9 speaks to Big Ben couldn't drive the ball deep to make.
And people coming into this league was saying that Jamar Chase don't have no hands. Like,
that's crazy. No, that was crazy.
No, that's just that little fondness. Nobody. That was never a doubt about that boy not being able to catch.
All right. Mm-hmm. Defenses should be a clean sweep, right?
Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who we got? Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Parsons.
That needs to be a clean sweep.
Michael Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Bama?
No, Patrick Surtain. I'm not giving no Cowboys nothing. They don't get nothing. No, we're not finna do this. This is what we're not finna do. Not finna get up here and unanimously give Cowboys these awards, because next year they're gonna use that to be mediocre again and do the same thing they did. So my defensive Rookie of the Year is Patrick Surtain. Got a couple pick sixes in the same fashion as old man did. That was very heartwarming to see. So I'm going to give it to Patrick Surtain, because that's who the Cowboys should have got instead of Michael Parsons. They would have been in a lot better situation than they was on Sunday, because the Cowboys are a disaster waiting to happen. So no, I'm not giving it.
But then Patrick Surtain would have then fell into that disaster. So it's
that's
unfair.
right. And then he would have said they should have drafted Parsons. And they
I'm not lying to you. Like, real quick, when they started drafting all them linebackers, I was like, bro, our secondary was trash. I was telling everybody Diggs is not who I want him to be. I'm like, we need a true shutdown corner, because I'm like, he's not a true shutdown corner.
I just want to point something out. Earlier in the show, Bama said he used to be a diehard Cowboys fan, and he isn't anymore. But just now, notice he used the word "we" when referring to the Cowboys.
No,
I think there's some underlining issue in there that we need to discuss a little bit. I'm going to go with Parsons.
This is what we not
Parsons.
Hey, Bama, if they would have won this week, you would have been calling your ex again. You would have been stalking your ex's Instagram.
Because I already know what she's going to do. She's going to cheat in the end. I already know what she's going to do.
True, I think we changed his name. True Blue Scam Thanos.
I'll never go back.
How about them boys?
Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons. I already put him in, bro.
There it is. Okay, now we're gonna go to comeback player of the year.
Honestly,
So,
who else?
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, who else are we gonna say, bro?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow is that guy, bro. He's
Could
that
go Dak,
freaking
but
guy.
Joe Burrow.
Nah,
So,
bro.
Brian, you got Burrow.
Yeah, I
Ben, you
got
got
Burrow.
Burrow. Okay. Bama fluent.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, over Burrow.
Joe
Carson
Burrow
Palmer
it is.
2.0, baby.
You're gonna regret that statement
Oh,
this
I'm
week
not.
too.
Carson
This week
Palmer
you,
was
hey,
Carson
you won't be
Palmer
with-
was good.
I
you
really
won't be
enjoy
wearing that
watching
shirt next
Carson
week.
Palmer. I really enjoy watching Carson Palmer on TikTok. He has a
Yeah.
lot of really good insights.
Isn't that his brother?
If you're
Bama, I
watching, you
bet
should
you won't
come
be
on the
wearing
show.
that shirt
Was it
next
his
week-
brother?
next week.
No, I thought it was Carson.
I think Jordan Palmer. I think that's his brother.
Are
Hey,
you
I will
sure?
say the
Is
Carson
it
Palmer
Jordan,
comparison-
Jesse, Carson? Are they all related?
not Jesse.
Not Jesse.
But one thing, and I know we don't want to go too far on this, but the Carson Palmer comparison I think he is like Matthew Stafford. To me, those are the two. Like he went to the Bengals, they killed him. He got out of there, and he had a lot of success with the Cardinals. But anyways,
Okay.
Okay.
And just like Matthew Stafford in LA, still will end up with nothing.
Listen, he's making it to the NFC Championship, bro. I don't know what else to tell you.
Ooh, let's give him a
I'm telling you,
participation
bro.
pin.
Like, come on. Like,
Let's give everybody a trophy for
you got-
trying.
You gotta stop disrespecting him just because he was on the
Never.
Detroit bum lines,
Never.
bro. You just can't hate him. You
Never.
gotta if you get let go of that hate from Matthew Stafford, I'll let go of my hate for Cooper Kupp. How about
A lot
that?
of hate in his heart. A
Defensive
lot of hate in his
player
heart.
of the year. Let me hear who you guys have defensive player of the year. Bama, kick us off.
TJ.
What? No Matt Judon? I thought I was gonna hear Matt Judon.
Yeah, I
for
thought
this
you were
one.
saying Matt Judon.
Yeah, Matt Judon was ass last Sunday. Sunday was, you know, TJ kind of gave to Pittsburgh. That's why I thought Pittsburgh might have. You remember I sent them eye emojis. I was like, damn, like TJ was trying to give them that spark they needed, but you know, that old Yeller, he was determined to lose and go home. I don't think he was ready. I didn't think he wanted to keep working. That's what I think it was. So
Okay, who you got, Floyd?
Yeah, I thought I was
Got
gonna
it.
be the one to say TJ and to his Judon, but yeah, no, I got TJ.
Okay, TJ's up 2. Ben, where you at?
I've been preaching about him throughout the whole week, every Tuesday, bro. TJ, bro. TJ Watt.
Brian, you
TJ
jumping
Watt.
on that same bandwagon?
Yeah.
TJ Watt with the clean sweep if Dub chooses him. Where you at, Dub?
TJ. He deserves it.
TJ. Okay.
just playing
TJ it is.
Trayvon Diggs is my defensive player.
Defensive rookie of the year.
Okay, offensive player of the year. Brian, kick us off.
Cooper Kupp,
Uh-oh.
best receiver this season.
Uh-oh.
Jonathan.
Floyd, you seem to be in agreement.
Oh yeah, it's Cooper Kupp. He had one of the greatest, if not the greatest, in single season of any wide receiver ever. 100%.
Okay. Dub.
I want to say Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that.
I want to say Jonathan Taylor, but
I was gonna say that.
I don't want to be labeled hater or racist again.
It's so funny. It's so funny though. It's so funny that you want to say just Jonathan Taylor when he's not even the best running back in his division, and
that's
yet
true.
And yet you want to knock Cooper Kupp because he's not the best wide receiver, even though he had the best production. But you want to do the flip for the running back. I find that interesting.
It's
I
just,
find that really interesting.
honestly, I wanted to be funny. I am gonna pick Cooper Kupp because, like I said, statistically he has. But Jonathan Taylor, like I would love to put Jonathan Taylor here, but I can't. I mean, the stats
It's
don't lie.
close. It's close, bro. But give me Cooper Kupp, bro. Give me
Okay.
Cooper Kupp.
But Fluent, let's remember that these awards are production awards.
That's absolutely.
So that's why I'm going with Cooper Kupp. It's a production award, and I have to go
That's
with him.
all I've ever been saying. Production.
Who's next? That's a clean sweep.
No,
Bama,
no. We got Bama.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know, I'll give it to.
Patrick Surtain.
Hey, that's right. Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
And that Navy offense.
Hypothetically, if they would have ran a Navy offense, Jalen Hurts would have been offensive player of the year this year. Just saying. Just saying. Or the wing team. Just saying.
That's amazing.
But Cooper Kupp.
Clean sweep.
So this is gonna get a lot of buzz. Who is the MVP?
Who is the MVP?
Come on,
Dub, actually, you start us off.
come
Who you
on.
got?
Again, this is like the production award, man. So it's like you would have to go with Aaron Rodgers. But it's like I don't know, Tom Brady at 45 years old dropping 5,300 yards is crazy to me. Like, it's crazy to me, bro. Like, I don't know which one to pick. That
Tom Brady had more production. Rodgers just more efficient.
I know, so it's hard. Like, I'm gonna stay with Tom Brady just due to the fact he's 45 or 44 years old.
Tom Brady is up one. Bama.
I don't care. I don't care if he was hurt. Derrick Henry. That was the most dominating player in the NFL. And that's why I feel like the MVP should go to the most dominating player. Like, if he did not get
That would
hurt,
be the MDP.
I mean, I guess, dude, but like in my head, like when I think of an MVP, like when Jordan used to win MVPs, like when Kobe and them boys, like they was like the best player. Like I couldn't think of a player that was better than them boys. Like even when Steve Nash won it that year, he won it. Like I couldn't think of too many players playing better than Steve. When Tim Duncan, I can't think of too many players that was playing better than those guys when they won it. The MVP race in the NFL is just like the best quarterback award. Like you even brought it up. Like Sean Alexander in 2006 was the last non-quarterback to win it. Come on, man. Like, so you mean to tell me that there's quarterbacks just really just be dominating like that? Like, no, because think about it. If you really want to go back, I'll go back to 2012. Adrian Peterson tore his ACL, rushed for 2,000, was a few yards away from breaking Eric Dicker's record. Why he didn't win it? They gave it to Peyton Manning. So it's just like annoying stuff. It's like, yeah, I understand what y'all saying. Like, oh, it takes a quarterback to win, but I really feel like some of these awards should go to the best player overall. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just my
basically what you mean.
That's just my take. Because in that case, you might as well just give it to Brady or Rodgers every year. Same way in the NBA, they might as well just give LeBron the MVP every year, but they don't do that. They put someone else up in there to where other guys can get an MVP. That way, a Jokic can get an MVP or a Giannis can get an MVP. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sick of the NFL how they do it, dude.
I would say this: the way that Derrick Henry was putting the team on his back from a non-quarterback role. It's like that was one of the most impressive things.
If he played the whole season, you might have been right. Yeah.
Yep, that's a fact.
So what do we got? Where are we right now? We got
I got
Derrick Henry.
We have a Henry and a Brady.
I'm going Rodgers.
And Rodgers.
Okay, we have a Henry, a Brady, we have a Rodgers. Fluent. Who you got?
No, let the guests go first.
Oh well, I mean, I was gonna save the best for last.
That's right. That's me.
Oh man.
He's fluent.
He's hospital. He likes to show hospitality, but you know, there's a little nastiness in there somewhere. Yeah. Go ahead, Bolstered.
Yeah, I'll go with Tom Brady. I think what he did was more impressive. To be quite honest with you, I know Rodgers people are going to bring up efficiency, but that comes kind of with the territory. Like when you have less attempts, you're going to be more efficient. When you're in that LaFleur offense, which again from the Shanahan tree, you're going to be more efficient. That's why Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl. That's why Jimmy G went to the Super Bowl. And with the Arians offense, it's the exact opposite. Go look at some of his quarterbacks numbers, particularly with the pick numbers. I have no problem with quarterbacks winning MVP every year because it is the most valuable player, and they're just the most valuable players on every single team. I view offensive player of the year as kind of what you were saying, Bama. But anyways, Tom Brady.
Okay. Fluid.
So because Dub, I think, is actually wrong because he said this was a production award. And then it's Cooper Kupp. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought about
it. but I think MVP is the one that isn't. I think offensive player, defensive player, those are production awards. But most valuable player, you have to have the production, but it's also for me, who adds the most value to their team. And that's why it's mostly quarterbacks, because when you take a quarterback off a team, that drops them in terms of wins more than any other position. That's why majority is quarterbacks that win it. So then I got to look at it, and then it's, these guys have it right. It's between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. So I think Brady production wise was better, but I also looked at what the Packers are without Aaron Rodgers. And I said this to you guys before. They're a team that scores less points per game than the 0-16 Browns, than the 0-16 Lions. That's how bad they are with anyone other than Aaron Rodgers at the helm. So I can't believe I'm about to say this. I will go Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I just talked myself into it. I was actually thinking Brady, but no, I say Aaron Rodgers.
Let me just ask y'all one question though. And this is where I be coming from. All right. With the thing y'all say about the quarterback, y'all spoke to this when quarterbacks get production from their running back, it ends up making the quarterback better.
Yep.
So, like, how unanimously does it just always be the most valuable player? Because I always look at this: the quarterback position is the most dependent position in all of football. You need an O-line, you need receivers that can catch these passes, you need the right play call, you need all of these things, you need to find a groove, you need to call certain plays that he's comfortable with. So I get what people be saying when you have a good one. Like, yeah, I'm not debating that Brady, Rodgers, you easily can make their case for MVP every year. But after they retire, these cases finna be made for some new quarterbacks to where, oh, they're the most valuable player. And really because if you look at it right now, if Russell Wilson was doing, we'll say he was the most valuable player, but he's not. Why is he not doing great? Marshawn's not sitting behind him no more. He doesn't have that defense to rely on. He got all of that money. Dak finna go through some of these certain things. I don't know. You call him.
I think also Russell got hurt. If Russell Wilson doesn't get hurt,
Russ.
that team's in the playoffs, and you might be talking about him.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But if you look at the Seahawks, they've been on a decline ever since that team kind of
Agreed.
got broken up. And like I say, if you look at all them quarterbacks that got paid, look at their teams.
But here's the thing. I'm arguing and I'm not arguing your logic, but here's the thing. To say that a good running game makes quarterbacks better, yeah, that's true. But then by that same standard, you can say, well, a good offensive line makes a running back better, right? Let's be honest. None of us are saying, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the Dallas Emmett Smith. None of us are saying Emmett Smith is the greatest running back of all time. Why? Well, because he had the greatest offensive line of all time. And that gave him extra yards and touchdowns that other running backs didn't get. So you could make that argument for anybody.
Yeah,
but
kind of sort of, because
Emmett
don't have more yards than Barry
what's
Sanders.
More replaceable? What's more replaceable? What's more replaceable? Not forget the elite, the super great. On average, what's more replaceable? A really good running back or a really good quarterback? It's a really good running back. You know it. I know you don't want to admit it, but you know it's a really good running back is more replaceable than a really good quarterback.
It is, because I mean
So I think that's the problem. Mm-hmm. I agree with what you're saying because I don't think running backs, wide receivers, heck, anybody gets enough chance to win an MVP. I agree with that too because it's not fair. But at the same time, that's probably why. Maybe
look at Nick Chubb and Stevenson on the Browns. Stevenson was going crazy when Nick Chubb went out.
Oh no! You mean Hunt or the other guy, Ernest?
Ernest Johnson. Oh my God! I was thinking about the Patriots guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I knew what you were saying. I knew what you were thinking. So Ron, you got to break the tie.
Yes, fellas. So we are at a 2-2, 2 with Brady, 2 with Rodgers.
Don't say Derrick Henry and make it a 3-way tie. Just don't.
We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do that. This show will go till infinity. But so I'm gonna just put it this way. They both had great seasons. They both produced. They both won. But I'm not going to just fall victim to it. Is a great narrative. He is older than my grandpa.
Dang.
And he is still balling. But I'm not, just because of his age doesn't mean anything, because Joe Burrow balled out this year. Did he not?
No, he did not ball out more than Matthew Stafford.
Stop.
He balled out. And he's just barely able to drink. He does smoke a great cigar, and he will smoke one this weekend. But this is the point I'm trying to make. Aaron Rodgers won more. He earned himself a bye this year. And so, with that being said, his team won more. I gotta go with Aaron Rodgers.
Fire.
Yes, sir.
Have to go with the Wizard.
Gotcha. Well, that completes it, man. This is our award ceremony for Players' Choice Gridiron, man. Take a look at it. Take a screenshot, bro. Hope y'all like what are we seeing. I think it's pretty good. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
No, I think this is one of our better, picks and predictions.
Yeah, thank God the Cowboys aren't in the, NFC Championship.
Speaking of which, we will get into our divisional round predictions for this next week. We have 4 games, and I want you guys to give me your winner of each game, and I want you to give me. I'm gonna have a 20-second shot clock. I want you guys to just tell me why your team wins. Okay.
Gotcha.
And so, our first game, we will go with the Bengals and the Titans. And who you got, and why do you have them?
All right. For me, I'm going Bengals because like I believe in their defense. They can stop Derrick Henry and them. And Titans, they're gonna keep repeating the run game. That's what I think. And I trust Joe Burrow them to lead the way. They got the receivers. They got a great defense. I think they gonna win this game.
Okay, Brian.
Going with the Titans. Going with the Titans. I think they have the better coach. Derrick Henry's going to be back. And even if he's not full go, Foreman has been great. So I think they finally got a legitimate number 2 back. And A.J. Brown, look for him to make the plays just a few more than Jamar Chase.
All right, Bama, Bengals, Titans. Who you got?
Titans more physical, point of attack, run the ball. It's old fashioned. Nothing never been broke behind it. Won't never be broke. It's over with. Sorry, Bengals, to look good, all that stuff, all that junk look nice. Fantasy football, forward focused stuff that attract the fans to look good. But we all know when the dust all settles, original football wins.
Okay, Fluid. Who you got?
I'm going with the Bengals. I've been kind of betting against them all year. And so, they finally, I'm going to give them their shot. Even though it goes against what I would normally pick, which is defense and a running game, that's kind of my go-to in the playoffs, and the home team and the bye. Like the Titans have on paper what seems to be everything going in their favor. They had the bye, they have the better coach, they're the run team, they're the better defense, which is why it just sets up perfectly for the Bengals to win.
This is hard. Yeah, this is hard because if you go with the story and you're gonna have a Mahomes versus Joe Burrow AFC Championship, that would draw up a lot of
You mean
viewers.
Josh Allen?
No, Mahomes versus Joe Burrow, that would bring up a lot of views, and NFL could be scripted sometimes, but I'm gonna stay with the Titans, man. They've been there before. They've been in those positions. They have more playoff experience. I mean, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase just popped their cherry, but I mean, yeah, I'll roll with the Titans.
Okay.
Just remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans.
We player's choice chooses the Titans to win this game. All right, now we have the 49ers and the Packers. We're going to run this right back. 20 seconds. I don't know who you got, why you got them. Bama.
Packers, Ghostface Killer.
Packers.
That's Aaron Rodgers, in case you don't.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Dub, who you got?
Packers.
No explanations. It's Packers.
Aaron Rodgers. What do you want? Nah, Packers, bro. I'm sorry.
Do you need it because?
I'm gonna
give
you.
That's like picking the Lakers. That's like picking the Lakers when Kobe was there. Like, come on, bro. Like,
I'm
come
sorry,
on.
bro. Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I have the because.
What's the because?
Okay, Fluid.
I'm going with the Packers because they've got the MVP in Aaron Rodgers. They have a really good running game, which will set up Aaron Rodgers. They have the best wide receiver in football in Devontae Adams. And what have we seen from the 49ers this season that makes you think they're going to put together two good games back to back? They've been so inconsistent this season that nothing tells me that they're going to be consistent all of a sudden. So yeah, go with the Packers. Well rested. Aaron Rodgers. Listen, I want Aaron Rodgers to win a Super Bowl and get the hell out of Green Bay. And that has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a Bears fan. Let's go.
Okay. Ben, where you at?
Man, I got the Packers on. Aaron Rodgers, the bad man himself. They got their team back. Jair back. Their left tackle, I think he's back too. And then Nick Bosa, I don't know if he's playing or not. And most importantly, I don't trust Jimmy G, a.k.a. Porn Star Jimmy.
Oh, my God.
Okay, Brian, where you at?
I'm going with the 49ers. And it's because of the same kind of recipe. They're going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be able to scheme up Ayuk and Debo to help kind of eliminate some of the impact that Jair Alexander is.
But it won't count because it was schemed up, though. No, I don't think they count those points or those yards.
But Kyle Shanahan has LaFleur's number in my mind, and we've seen LaFleur kind of make the same mistakes in a row. And I think once you've seen it several times, especially on the big stage, it becomes a trend. And what I mean by that is I think LaFleur is going to go conservative. He doesn't always call games like he has Aaron Rodgers in my mind. And I think, again, that stems from that offense. But
you think he's going to go for a field goal when he should go for it and cost him the game, that type of thing?
Yeah, I think that's likely. Not necessarily the same exact situation as last year, but I see it as very much likely that you're going to see, especially early in the game, they're going to settle for a couple field goals. Now, of course, there is the Jimmy G play that is going to happen. There's probably going to be two. There's going to be the guy's wide open and he overthrows him. That's going to happen. And he's probably going to have a pretty bad pick. But I think the 49ers overcome it. I think they have the better coach, the better offensive line, and the better run game. I think they're going to be able to keep Aaron Rodgers off of the field.
There you have it.
When they beat Aaron Rodgers in the first time, Jimmy G didn't turn the ball up. I'm just saying that's just pretty bold take for Jimmy G to come out there and turn the ball over and beat Aaron Rodgers. But
just once, hey,
you can't do it.
Aaron Rodgers has not played well against the 49ers. I mean, I know he has played well, but he's also had some really bad games against the 49ers. If Nick Bosa is healthy, they are going to get after him. And I believe in the run game too. Their offensive line's good. A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, really good, and both can receive. But like what I'm saying, unlike especially Shanahan, but even McVay, LaFleur has gone away from the run game, especially early. And that's what happened in the NFC Championship game last year. I just see the same thing happening.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay, well.
Two more games and I got to go to bed.
Yes.
Player's choice chose the Packers, but Brian made a bold take and chose the 49ers. We will see how it pans out. Our next game, we have the Rams and the Bucs. Ben, 20 seconds. Who do you have?
Yeah, I got the Buccaneers, man. Tom Brady, man, you know what he got on his sleeve and all that type stuff. And definitely don't trust Matthew Stafford. Not in this game with that defense over there with the Buccaneers. So, yeah.
There it is. Brian, who do you have?
I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm betting on the better quarterback.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Let me guess. Matthew Stafford is better than Tom Brady.
Play is going to happen. It's going to happen. Winfield Jr.
It doesn't matter. All the hate that you guys had, it doesn't matter because the Rams are just a better team. They're just a better team than them. All the hate you want to give Matthew Stafford is fine. Listen, if that secondary is not healthy, I don't even give a damn. Even if they are healthy, you know what Odell Beckham, Cooper Kupp going to do to them guys?
Yeah, the best receiver in the NFL, Cooper Kupp, in NFL history.
Like, come on, bro.
Y'all was just making a case for him being the best receiver.
Like, come on, bro. He's going to have
the most valuable players.
And I guarantee you, Matthew Stafford is going to put on a freaking show, bro. He's going to put on a show.
He is going to put on a show. You're absolutely right. It's going to be a train wreck because he's going to throw 3 picks. And listen, it's not like last year when Brady threw 3 picks and the Bucs were able to overcome that against the Packers. The Rams don't have that ability. He's going to throw his 3 picks. The Rams are going to lose. And I don't know if it was my turn, but Bucs are winning.
Okay, Doug, who actually did you choose?
Rams. It's the Rams, bro. They're a better team.
Okay.
Rams.
Bama, you have 20 seconds to tell us why
I'm going Rams. I'm going Rams. I went against Dub last week. Dub even said it. You can bet your money on the Rams blowing them out. And they blew them out. So I'm not finna go against Dub this week. So guess what, Dub? You won me over. I'm going with the Rams, and it might not even be close.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far with Brady, but it could be a blowout.
Just the reason why I say possibly
it could be a blowout too.
The defense is the favor of Rams also. y'all keep saying, "Oh, they getting some pieces back," but I mean, they've been out for some weeks, dude. Like, and one thing you need is synergy on defense. Like, everybody need to be
chemistry. Yep.
Chemistry. We need that. Like, tight knit.
I can't wait till next week's show. I can't wait till next week's show.
I cannot wait either. This is
okay.
I can't wait.
As a unit, the Bucs overfavored the Rams, so we have the Bucs winning it this week as a unit. Last but certainly not least, and I think personally this is the game of the weekend. I don't know if you guys agree as well. We have the Chiefs and the Bills. I need to know who you guys think is bringing it home. Brian, we're gonna start with you.
This one's tough. This one's tough. Just the way that both quarterbacks are playing. I go with the same method. I'm going with the Chiefs. They have the quarterback edge slightly, in my opinion, mainly Andy Reid. I'm riding with Andy Reid here.
Okay. Fluid?
I'm about an hour and 12 minutes outside of the greatest football team in New York. And I'm going to go with Bills Mafia this week and call out Josh is going to have his coming out party this week against the Kansas City Chiefs. And everyone's be like, wow, I didn't know he could play that good. I'm going to roll with the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. Dub 0.
This is a terrible matchup. This is a terrible matchup for the Kansas City Chiefs because the Bills have a very strong secondary, and the Chiefs. Oh, apologize. This is a very bad matchup for the Chiefs because the Bills have a very strong secondary, and the Chiefs are a pass-happy team. So this could go either way, but I'm not counting the baby goat himself out. Kansas City, baby.
Okay, KC is up 2-1. Bama. Who you going with?
KC is gonna appear this game be close, and then they're gonna run out of gas at the end. I would just say this: you're not gonna be able to run with that speed all game, and that's what happens, dog. Right? Sometimes you get lucky, how the Bucs did in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't think the Bills getting lucky like that, dog. It's Chiefs. Chiefs gonna make it AFC. They gonna make it out the AFC every year. Hate to say it.
Okay. Ben, finish us off.
It's tough. Two high power offense. I think it's gonna be crazy matchup. I think it's gonna be close. I'm going with the Chiefs, man. I went with Mahomes and them boys.
There you
Lone
have
Wolf,
it.
baby.
My homeboy.
Unanimously.
Homie. Just the way
Player's
I like it.
choice chooses the Chiefs, but none other than Sports Fluid picks the Bills to come out unanimous. We will see how it goes. Fellas, this does conclude our show. I need closing thoughts and takes. Bama, kick us off.
I already know, bro. TikTok, Players Choice Gridiron, follow, Grandmama Stank, Mama No Edges. You don't want that to happen. Follow, everything. Follow.
Ben, what's up?
Follow me TikTok BBen923, Instagram BBen923. Follow the IG PC_Gridiron. Follow that TikTok too, Players Choice Gridiron, man. Love.
Sports Fluid.
Listen, everybody already said about follow Players Choice, sports_fluent. And I know you're giving away $100, and I don't want to steal that thunder. But check out because on Twitch we're saying basketball, so I want to give you a basketball promo. So I want you to go to fantasy5.com/basketball. It's free to play. You pick 5 players from 5 different games, chance to win $5,000, and it's totally free. You can check out my link at sports_fluent on TikTok, on Instagram. You can take that link, play for free. Why not? You can win $5,000. fantasy5.com/basketball.
That right there is big time. You guys for sure tune into that. Dub, you have any closing comments?
Let our guests finish it out, and then I'll say what I gotta say.
Okay. How you feeling, Brian?
Yeah, hey,
how was it?
First off, I appreciate you guys having me on. Good conversation. So it was good to be a part of it this time. And follow me, Bolstered Up Sports. Most recent video, posted a take on why it is not crazy for the Patriots to think about moving on from Mac Jones right now.
Wow.
Can I ask a question before you go, Dub? And this has nothing to seeing as he's a football coach, I know it's a high school team, and Ben is an hour away from Raleigh, and Ellen Church travels all around the world, or all around the U.S. Maybe we should maybe all get together and do a live show at like next, like I know I'm talking about the fall. I don't know. Do you guys play spring? Do you guys spring football or no? Just in the fall?
It's just in the fall, as far as, like
maybe we set something up in September. We all come down to North Carolina and do a live Gridiron show from the football practice and show these guys that we can actually play football. I was saying.
Let me see how far that is from me.
It's not that far. It's not that crazy.
I'll be fine.
You like that? I just told you that we're coming down to take over one of your practices.
Free.
That'll be fine.
Bama's ready. He's a good coach.
He left. Coach. I never played football, so I don't know. I'll watch.
I'll teach you, don't.
I can't wait. Can't wait to see your amazing route running.
Cooper Kupp-esque.
So know.
Hold on, Doug. Before you close it out, I just want to say that I offered $100, and I'm gonna give you guys exactly the rules to win this. So we have 4 games this week. I want you to DM. First off, follow PC_Gridiron. You must follow. And then you have to follow each and every panelist on here. That includes Bolstered Up Sports as well. Follow everybody. And then DM the PC Gridiron, page. And I want you to give a prediction of all 4 games. If you get any of those 4 predictions right, any of them, you will win $100.
Wait.
Damn.
Any of those predictions.
They get one prediction right, they're gonna get $100.
One out of 4. You have 25% chance to win.
Damn.
What?
Anybody.
That's a W.
Anybody that gets it.
That's
you must follow.
Throwing money around.
Your wallet gonna be real empty.
You hear that? Bolstered up. You hear that? You hear that, Brian? Just giving away money.
We'll see. And it must be in before the first game on Saturday.
PC Grid. Oh, so they have to follow the Instagram.
They have to
follow PC Instagram. They have to follow Dub0, Ron, Bolstered Up, Scam Thanos, Benny B, Ben
923.
B Ben what?
Ben 923.
I always forget the numbers. Ben 923 and sports. Most importantly, sports _.
Great, and we will know if you guys follow all.
We'll know if you follow
all of us because there's one in here that just made a TikTok. Remember? Scam Thanos TV.
Oh, that's right.
He has to follow Scam Thanos TV. Don't forget about that. All right, fellas. Well, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for the amazing week. I hope you guys enjoyed this show, man. If you guys are watching to the end of this show, appreciate you guys. Please drop a like, comment, let us know what you think. Give us some questions, man. We love interacting with you guys. Other than that, let's keep this going, bro. And we appreciate you guys for real. Y'all be safe. Y'all be easy. Take care.